All right, my fellow agents, this is round 2. I apologize for that mix-up, everyone. I almost completely and totally live streamed my password and a bunch of different stuff. I didn't mean to do that, so we had to do a quick troubleshooting. Had to fix a problem. Everything is good. What's up, my YouTube family? Welcome back to the Gaming Brigade. To the 40 or so people that were here a moment ago, I do apologize. Hopefully, it will, people will come back to the stream. I do apologize for that if you were here a second ago. I had some personal information on there. I mean, not a bunch. Anyway, long story short, I almost completely typed my, password to my Ubisoft Connect to everyone. So anyway, that's fixed. Here's our plan. Killer Vic, I see you. What's up, Derpy McSquirtle? Awesome. What's up, AM 2001? Hope everyone is doing well. So here's the plan. Here's what I was saying a moment ago before I had to end the stream and start a new one. What you're seeing is pre-recorded footage. The Division Resurgence is really, really, really damn good. I cannot stress that enough. Like, it's awesome. I wanted to live stream it, but I was worried about connection issues, things like that. So I figured, what the best thing to do was just give you some pre-recorded footage. Let you see all the stuff on screen. I will be quiet during certain cutscenes. And we'll go from there, my fellow agents. You know what I mean? It's good stuff. During the, cutscene right here, I'll be quiet. I'll let it play out, then I'll jump in right after.
It happened in just a few weeks. Our own greed did us in. And before we knew it, the dollar flu spread like wildfire. A few weeks. That's how long it took for a civilization to collapse.
The governor of New York has asked for federal help as city services are collapsing.
Manhattan was being torn apart. So they locked it down. Or tried. But it was already too late.
The government is resorting to drastic measures to tackle the crisis.
We will not stand idly by while our great country crumbles. Decisive measures must be employed. That is why the President today has decided to invoke Directive 51.
So they finally activated us. The Strategic Homeland Division. An elite group of embedded agents. We walk among you. We are you. Until we are activated. Then we leave everything behind to answer the call. When all else fails, we are the last resort, the last line of defense. And we will give our lives to save what remains.
All right, my fellow agents, back at it. So first of all, May, I do not have any codes to pass out at this point. I was given 10. Now, what you're looking at on screen again, early access stuff. The actual beta, I believe, begins tomorrow. And at this point, I don't have any more codes to pass out. I was given 10. I already gave those away. Hopefully, I will get more, but I will keep you posted. There will be a link in this video description that takes you to a place where you should still be able to sign up. Hopefully, you can get your hands on one. Black Hat, this is a mobile game. Yes, it's absolutely amazing. And we're going to talk about a bunch of different stuff. Please leave. This is a whole Q&A thing, this entire live stream. So I want to answer your questions. We're going to go over a bunch of different things. Agent, I see you. I apologize for a moment ago. I had to cut the stream short. I already explained why, but I almost, live streamed some personal passcodes to the entire world. Well, to the entire 30 people that are watching, but you know what I'm saying. George, what's going on, my friend? I see you. This is not for Xbox. So again, this is the mobile game right now. Should be launching in the early window of 2024, I believe the first quarter. I think if you look in the iPad store, it's listed for March something or other. But again, for a mobile game, so there's a lot to talk about today. And, you know, for full transparency, I don't really play mobile games at all. That's just not my thing. Like, if I have free time to play, like many of you out there, I'm working, doing this, that, whatever. If I have free time to play, I'm jumping on Xbox or PlayStation, PC, whatever it is. Don't really play mobile games that much, but you know how much I love this franchise. And I gotta tell you, I am completely and totally obsessed with this thing. So really quick, I want to point out a few things. First of all, I'm playing this on my iPad Pro. It is a second generation. The thing's about 5 or 6 years old, so it's been a minute since it's been out. You can see the FPS is 30. That can be adjusted. And the graphic quality is medium. That can be adjusted as well. As we, you know, I'll be doing a lot of these live streams. I'll go over a lot of that stuff. And again, this is the early access beta. I'm using my Xbox controller. I was able to, you know, link it to my TV and play it. And I think the best thing is, just to get this out of the way, then I'll get to questions. It plays like a Division game. It feels like the old school Division 1, which is absolutely insane to me. And that's the one thing I love the most, is that when I'm playing this thing, it's taking me back to that first Division game. And obviously I love the second game as well. But we know that feeling you had when you were first jumping into this, and I can't put the thing down. I mean, there's a lot of stuff we're going to cover. I'm going to jump to chat really quick. So, Heartwind, I mentioned, no, again, this is mobile device only. I believe you can somehow, through, I don't know the program, somehow get it on your PC. I don't know exactly how that works. And what you're seeing right now is the tutorial that you get when you first jump into the game. Yeah, Tony, the graphics are good. They will be much better than they are right now. My settings are pretty much almost to the lowest. I wanted to make sure it worked properly on the iPad. And again, my device that I'm using this on is about 5 or 6 years old. iPad Pro 11, second generation. If I were to use my iPhone 13, it would be much, much smoother. Much sharper. I would be able to change certain resolutions. This gives you an idea of what you're going to be seeing on a device that's about, like I said, 5 or 6 years old. And not only that, you will be able to improve certain settings on newer devices as well. Why does this sentence appear when I enter the game? I'm not sure what that means. May. But anyway, do not have a code to give away right now. Just putting that out there, May. I see you. I haven't forgotten. I see where you're at. I'm telling you, Derpy is asking, be interesting to see how it runs on my 2023 iPhone SE. Pretty sure it's going to run pretty damn good, to be honest with you. I've talked to a few different people that are playing it. They have much newer devices, and it's really damn smooth. I'm seeing, you know, 60 FPS. I think you have to balance the quality with the frames. And I don't know. And again, what's really tricky is that, you know, it says right at the bottom, early access does not represent the final quality. Chances are we'll be able to have both once this actually launches. But again, this is what we have right now. So what you're really seeing, in my opinion, is kind of a worst case scenario of what the game looks like. And if that's the case, this is pretty damn badass, especially for a mobile game. What's up, Keith? I see you, buddy. Good to see you. Hope all is well. It really does, Agent. Yeah, thank you, buddy. I appreciate that. For those of you who missed it, this is actually my second live stream in like 20 minutes. Whatever. I won't go into those details. So here's the best part about the game. One of the best parts. We're going to cover a lot of stuff. And again, this is pre-recorded. So fire away your questions. I'll be checking chat nonstop. Do me a favor. If you're just joining, hit that like button. You could hit that sub button as well. Like to further support the channel, feel free to hit that join button as well. When we're looking at the different specializations, and this is what we know of so far, typical thing, you know, we're going to go over each one individually as it's on screen. I will be checking chat as well, so we're going to be bouncing back and forth. And one thing I was saying is that for me, the idea of really any mobile game, I'm just like, meh, we'll see what happens. And this is just about being a fan of the Division franchise. And I was thinking, how are they actually going to get the mobile game on a mobile device? And they got a mobile game. They made it, how are they going to get a Division game on a mobile device? And that's exactly what they did. I'm using my Xbox controller on my iPad. You can see these 4 different specializations. They have Demolitionist. They give you a breakdown of the AoE, DPS, support, survivability, all of that stuff. And we'll be breaking down everything in future videos as well. But what I really loved is that my controller, sense memory when it comes to games like this, it's a huge thing. So for me, when I'm playing, I want to know, again, I play on Xbox primarily, or I use an Xbox controller, whether it's on Xbox or PC. I want to feel like, all of those controls, translate into a different game, and they do. When it comes to this game, for me, B is vault, A is cover, grenade is the same spot, your skills are the same spot, all of that stuff, and that makes a really big difference. And I know for a lot of people out there, you may not be inclined to play a mobile game at all, but I'm telling you, and you'll see a bunch of footage. We'll go for a few hours here probably. It's a ton of fun to play. Really, really good. What's up, Arden? I see you. Agent is saying the only way you could get it through your PC is BlueStacks, if you remember it right. I think you're right. I think I saw some people playing it through that. I have no idea how that works. Again, typically a console player, but if it can be done, people are going to figure it out. George, the release date is to be determined. So right now we are in the beta. We're in the regional beta. It goes on between now and... I don't know how long this thing goes on for. It could go on for a few months, to be honest with you. But chances are this is going to be released during the first quarter of 2024. And just between... So I was able to test this in the beta last year. I think it was last December was the last time I played. And I'm already seeing a huge difference in not only the quality of the game itself, but also how the mechanics are actually working. They really made a big difference so far, which is awesome. And we're right now, if you're just tuning in, we're just showing you some of the different specializations you can pick from. Pretty sure I'm going Bulwark. I think that's what I did on this one. And you will, for those of you wondering, just like in the other game, the regular games, you will be able to, as you level up, you'll be able to switch specializations, level those up, all of that stuff. We went through Demolitionist, we went through Bulwark. Here's Vanguard. You can see that's, straight DPS and support. Survivability is a little low, but it also has the return. Well, you'll see here in a second. You can see on the right-hand side the different skills that you have. Vanguard is the weapons and support expert. You've got your scanner pulse, which is good. It's again, it's really playing like a normal Division game, and that to me is the one thing that was going to be my takeaway. Not takeaway. That was going to be my, barometer of if this was a game I thought I would actually want to play, and the answer is yes. Like, I cannot put this thing down. I mean, I'll mention something really quick. Is you'll see this at the end of the footage. I'm in the middle of running a mission. I'm trying to get to another one of the settlements, whatever it is. And I wind up going into a random store. And in that store, there's a safe. And, it's got a code on it, whatever. And then you're given a clue to try to find this, to try to find the code to open the safe. I find the code, I open it up. And then I'm thinking, well, how many stores have I passed? And I wonder how many more of them have these safes in them and you have to crack. And it's just like all these little nuances in the game. Absolutely insanely fun. I spent like an hour doing that. And I'm like, oh, I should get back to the actual main missions. But I think that's the thing, is that makes this that encompassing world that we want to see. And again, it's on a mobile device. And look, I am a Ubisoft partner. I want to thank Ubisoft for sending me this copy and the codes that I handed out, but I have other than that, there's no affiliation. I will always be straightforward and honest with you when it comes to these games. I think I've established myself in this community with your knowing that. And this is something I'm definitely going to play, without a doubt. David is saying, according to Apple Store, it's March the 31st. Yeah, I thought it was at one point in March. Brian, what is going on, my friend? Welcome to the Gaming Brigade, new member. Thank you, buddy. Appreciate that support. If you are just joining, do me a favor. Hit that like button, hit that sub button. You can, just like Brian did. Thank you so much. Hit that join button as well. Fire your questions away. This is all pre-recorded footage. I'm here to answer them, my fellow agents. Anarchy, I'm telling you, the game is good. It's a lot of fun. And again, you're just seeing some breakdown of stuff on screen. But I love to be able to answer your questions in real time and chat, all of this good stuff. Sci-Fi Universes, good seeing you. What's going on? Hey, where is everyone in the world right now? Let me know in chat. Where are you watching this at this moment? We will be live for the next 2 hours, going over a bunch of good stuff. All right, so I am going to choose Bulwark, or I did choose, excuse me, Bulwark. And again, what you're seeing on screen, for those of you just tuning in, excuse me, is this is the tutorial that you're going to be met with as you start off the game. As we continue through everything, what I'm going to do is I will be quiet during certain cutscenes. Then when they're not playing, I will continue to answer your questions. I've got my coffee, I've got my water, I've got my power bar. I'm good to go, everybody. Coming at you. Currently 12:30 p.m. Pacific time. Winds coming out of the southeast, 15 miles an hour. Currently 71 degrees in the San Francisco Bay Area. Hope everyone is doing well wherever you are in the world. We've got someone in South Yorkshire, UK. All right, so check this out. So really quick, jumping back to the gameplay. What's badass is that, again, it's going to depend on what specialization you choose, and you do have the ability to switch specializations as you level up, and we'll get into all of that stuff as we go on. The game just plays like a Division game. And I can't, if you're a fan of this channel, you know there are few games that I cover on a consistent basis, right? So that's been established. I mean, I cover the Division, I'll cover whatever it is. When it comes to this franchise, I'm only checking out a mobile game because it's a Division mobile game. And it feels like the Division on a mobile device. You know, for me, the quality of the game is more important than the gameplay itself. You know, I can deal with certain FPS, I can deal with certain things, and one thing I touched on earlier, and we will talk about it again, when we get back to the other screen, you'll see in the left corner, bottom corner, 30 FPS. You do have the ability to improve that. Graphic quality is medium. iPad Pro 2, 5 or 6 years old, that device. I think we're about to jump to a cutscene, so I am going to shut up for a second. Keep those questions coming. Hit that like, sub button, and I will actually, you know what? I can be quiet during this. I mean, I don't need to be quiet during this. What am I saying? If you can't tell, it's been a minute since I've done a live stream. Hopefully I don't forget I'm actually live when I'm doing this. We have San Jose. Yeah, we are the first wave agents in Resurgence. It's pretty badass. I was actually worried, was my name going to be taken? This is my first character, Bo-Katan, and we are going to, oh, that was my other one, I'm sorry. This is a new character I'm creating. And thankfully, I was able to get Sergeant Greybeard. Wasn't sure if I could or not. With the character creation, you don't have too many options. Like, and typically, hey, you know what? Peeking behind the curtain here. Usually that's what my gray beard looks like. I do clean it up around the neck more. I'm not that shaggy. About that skin tone, about maybe, yeah, that's kind of like my skin tone-ish right there. But the point is this. Just so you know, that's, and I've said this in previous videos, that's usually, you know, where the beard is at. When I started the channel, I had a full-on beard and there was a lot of gray in it. Whatever. Anyway, we'll save that for another day. Character customization isn't too in-depth at this point. That could change. I have no idea. So we're just going to throw a character together really quick. This is what I did yesterday. And again, I'm hoping to get more codes. That's my goal. If you've signed up for this, or if you haven't, there's a link in the video description that should, let me check actually really quick. Where is it? Let's go to our live stream. Let's go to this really quick. Yes. No, there's not. I need to delete this. Hang on. We're going to do a few troubleshooting things right quick. I'm going to type a link to sign up. I think signups are still open. I have no idea. But if someone can let me know, if you can go to the video description in about 30 seconds, I will have the updated version, or I'll have the proper link in the video description. Give me a second real quick. What do we got here? Okay, so I believe what I am putting in, let's copy that real quick, bounce out of here, go back to what I was doing. Let's paste that. Okay, we're going to save. Okay, so now I believe if you go to the video details, if you go to the video description, there's a link that says you can sign up. Do me a favor, click on that link if you have a second to try it. Scroll down to the bottom, it'll say Division Resurgence, register here. Let me know if that's still open. And if it is, I recommend just, filling it out. Hopefully you can still get into that thing. Okay, here we go. We already did first wave agents. We talked about that. All right, so we are just building our character right now. Got to get the right shoes going on. Matt, no, I think we're going to go brown. Was that Clash? Oh, no, we're going these bad boys. I think this is what I chose. Okay. Fugazi, what's going on, buddy? Appreciate you. Appreciate you, my friend. Good to see you. I haven't seen you in a minute. Hope all is well, buddy. I see you. Good, good, good. Again, thank you. You think I forgot your nickname, Fugazi? I'll never forget that. All right, so here we go. Now we're going to type in our name. So for those of you that were here in that, so I had a live stream start at noon, and this is pre-recorded footage. And so what you're seeing is, this is when I'm signing up, on the iPad, putting in my agent's name. And before, when the live stream started, you were seeing me punch in my code to, like, my personal stuff, like my Apple ID and all this stuff, and I had to instantly end that live stream and start it over. Okay, we've got Astrid Meyer. Welcome aboard. Yeah, things are going south. And we're going to be looking at the map. We're going to be going over a bunch of stuff. Once again, I will be quiet during the cutscenes. And fire away with any questions you have about this, my fellow agents. Thank you so much for being here. I appreciate it. I think I'm going to shut up now, because are we jumping to another cutscene? Let's see what happens. Nope, we're getting right into the action. Oh, thank you. Appreciate that. That's awesome. Welcome. Roscoe, what's going on? You do not need a controller to use. That is correct. So, for instance, okay, so again, I've said this before, but if you're just tuning in, the footage you're looking at, captured on my iPad Pro, I am using my Xbox controller to play, which is exactly how I want to be able to do this. It does transfer from one mobile device to another. When you log in, you're going to find your characters across, obviously, the app itself once it comes out. And you can use a controller on your phone, you can use a controller on your other device if you have, or you can use a touchpad screen. For me as a player, I will... it's funny, when this was out last year, when I was testing the beta last year, I remember having a doctor's appointment, or the kid did. The kid had a doctor's appointment, and I was like, oh man, this game is very, very, very fun. It is a Division game on a mobile device, like truly. And I was playing it at home, with the controller, all this stuff, and we get in the car, we're heading to his doctor's appointment, he's in there for a minute, I'm like, thinking, oh my god, I can actually play the Division right now. Just took my phone out, logged in. Touchscreen is much different. That does get, that does take a little getting used to. But once your controller is on here, like if I didn't have the controller, you would see the touchscreen controls on the screen itself. But when you're using a controller, obviously you don't need that, and they took that off, which, by the way, was not in the last beta test. Like, you could still play, it was a whole thing, but now it's an automatic thing, so it's awesome. Yeah, Roscoe, I'm telling you. I left a link in the video description. If you have not signed up as yet, you can possibly still try. I know that the test begins, I don't know if the code, so what you're looking at right now is I was lucky enough to get an early access code, and with that I was given 10 codes to pass out. They've all been handed out. If I get more, I promise to let you know, my fellow agents, but this is some early access stuff. And actually we're about to hit a cutscene, so I'm going to be quiet really quick. Are we hitting that cutscene? I think we are. Hang on. Yeah, we're going to in a second. I think what took place, what you're seeing is I wanted to make sure I didn't miss anything. So I think we're going to bounce back right now. Pretty sure that's the case. And keep firing your questions away, agents. I will answer them once we get through this scene. And yes, you can switch to first person as well. Whole bunch of stuff to talk about, my fellow agents. All right, I'm going to be quiet really quick.
The longer we sit on our asses, the more dangerous it gets.
We will move, Kevin, as soon as Agent Kelly's partner shows up.
But I can help with the escort.
You are not a trained professional. This is real. It's not some movie. Speak of the devil. Welcome to the Spring Blossom Restaurant. I'm Angela Chan, and this is my nephew, Kevin.
I'm Kelly. Good to see you. You've been briefed, right?
Chief Meyer updated me. We're getting Mrs. Chan out of here?
Mrs. Chan refuses to leave without her people. We're taking all of them to the checkpoint. Hold here while we clear the way.
Very well.
I should go with them.
No, Kevin. Let the agents do their jobs. I need you with us.
But
Enough. Let's make sure everybody is ready to leave when Agent Kelly gives the all clear.
Let's get a move on.
All right. It's got that Division 1 feel. You know what I mean? It really does. One thing I'm seeing in chat is it really, a lot of people have been commenting about that feeling of the first game. And the best way I can put this is when I'm playing this, I feel like I'm playing The Division for the first time ever. And that sounds cliche and all that, but we know that that first game was lightning in the bottle. And you know how much I love the second game. It's not about that. But I think what is great for me is feeling like we have a new Division game to play, you know, in conjunction with everything else. And to be clear, the mobile game is not Heartland. That is something separate. It's not the third game either. All of these worlds are going to tie together. But for me, feeling that Division 1 vibe in a new game, it's amazing. It's truly, truly amazing. And again, it's a mobile thing. I'm not a mobile game player. I don't have time for that. I need to make time for this. That's how good it is, in my opinion. Again, I'm not getting paid, blah, 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 all that crap. I will always be open and honest with you. I will always give you a fair and balanced assessment. But from what I've, you know, encountered so far with this thing, absolutely loving it. All right, so let's see what we got here. KVD, what's up, kid? I see you. All right, here, okay, Fugazi. Yeah, that was kind of a lame-ass handshake. Is it free to play? The answer is yes. Microtransaction heavy? It's all dependent on you as a consumer. If you want to buy stuff, it's a mobile game. There's going to be a ton of microtransactions if you want. We will touch base on that. You'll see a little bit of footage later showing you can't buy anything during this beta phase, but it is going to be microtransaction based. I'm sure there's going to be, and I believe, well, I'm pretty damn sure there's going to be some sort of, you know, seasonal reward track like we have in the Division 2. That's something I'm sure they'll do. As the game comes out, I don't like to speculate too much until something's out, but I can promise you, if you want to spend money on stuff, you're going to be able to. Now, I do not know how the... I'm not a fan of pay to win. We see what happened with Diablo Immortal, right? Especially because this game, The Division Resurgence, you know, it has that PvP element. So if you can spend $100 and get a badass shotgun that can just decimate someone in 2 seconds, and you're going against someone who can't get that, I do have a problem with that. However, if you can get it normally, like through a regular grind, or you have the option of buying it early, I've got no problem. Does that make sense? You know what I mean? Like cosmetic stuff, look, if you want to spend 20 bucks on a shirt, awesome, who cares? I'll do that. Like if there's like a badass like bunny suit or something, I will rock that stuff nonstop. Don't have a problem with microtransactions. I do have a problem with pay to win. In the sense of, you know, I can spend all this money and have a character that is unbeatable. Now the only issue I do, and when I don't have a problem with, let's say for instance there's a reward, you know, in a regular season at level 90, right? So you don't have to buy anything, you get a shotgun at level 90. But if you pay this seasonal reward track, you get it at level 5 instead of level 90. I'm okay with that. If you want to spend money to speed things up, I don't care. But it's having access to things that are not normally accessible, and I'm not talking about cosmetic. Cosmetics will always have a charge to it, and that's fine. Again, you want to buy a t-shirt, buy a t-shirt.
Goddamn.
All right, what are we going on here? All right, letting some people through. Let me get back to chat really quick.
Yeah, this is Kelly.
Yes, Ubisoft is picking random people to be in the regional beta. 1000%, Roscoe.
Foamy latte right now.
Yep, 100%.
What the hell?
Yeah, me too, KVD. I'm loving this thing. I can't put the game down. Like last night, I don't know about you if you're still here, but let me know. I was talking about a minute ago how I just randomly went into a you know, abandoned shop, and I saw there was a safe on the ground, and I had to, and upon looking at the safe, it said, you know, just gave you a clue to try to find the code somewhere in the shop. That to me was like, oh my gosh, I need to do this. I need to, and then I just went on this crazy rabbit hole of trying to find abandoned stores to crack safes for like an hour, and it was awesome. Like it was absolutely awesome. Keith is asking, so can you do the same builds like Division 2 Strike? I don't know if Striker's a build. I don't know the gear sets as yet. I haven't seen them. Again, this is very early footage. I'm only at level, I think, 4 right now. I can promise you by tonight I will be at level at least 15. I have nothing planned for the rest of the night but to jump into this game. Ideally. And as soon as I say that, watch, some crazy stuff will happen. Do me a favor, if you are just tuning in, hit that like button, hit that sub button. You can hit that join button as well. This is pre-recorded footage, as I mentioned a moment ago. Wanted to make sure the quality of the stream was there. First and foremost, that's what matters most, my friends. It's been a while. I think about 2 months since I've done it, or maybe a month or so. A little over that since I've done my last live stream. So if I'm tripping over my words, that is why, fellow agents. Alright, let's get back to it. Long time. Oh, Texas Mike, what is up, kid? Good to see you. Really appreciate you being here. Good stuff, good stuff. Okay, let's see. George is saying you're still wrapping your head around, yeah, the fact that this is a mobile game. That's the one thing I can't, you know, I don't... It's a Division game. You know what I mean? It's weird because if I post, let's say, a Division 2 video, right? I know people are going to be like, oh, Division 2, I played that game, this, that, whatever. As soon as you throw the word mobile into something, people are like, meh, microtransaction. And look, microtransactions are going to be there. How they will work specifically, I'm not going to speculate until this thing goes live because I have seen certain things change. But this is a Division game on a mobile device. It is free to play. And you'll see a little bit later in the footage, when you open up the map, there's a ton of stuff to do. Like, there's a lot to do, and it's going to be broken down, I believe, into seasons, you know, daily rewards, a bunch of different stuff. So to answer your question, I forgot who asked it, just about the gear set. And if I miss your question, I apologize. Anyone who does, you know, super chat or whatever, I promise to answer your question. But if I miss something, you don't need to do that in order to get an answer. But I may miss it, so I do apologize. But that is one thing I will definitely scroll back on because I can see it on the screen. But anyway, I don't know how gear sets are. There are some insane talents that are not in the regular game or in Division 1 or Division 2 that are here. So, yeah, I don't know any gear sets as yet, but I'm sure there are. I'm making the assumption that there are.
I'll see what I can do, ma'am.
Yes, there is. That's all I'm doing. All I'm doing is PvE. And not only that, Keith was just saying, so can you do the same? Oh, no, I'm sorry. Fugazi. If they have PvE and I'm not forced to PvP, you're in. Yes, 1000%. Dark Zone is its own thing. PvE is its own thing. You have the option of running when you run into a mission. You can join. You'll see on the screen in a little bit. You can start the mission solo. You can start it in a group. Totally up to you. And when you replay a mission, there are different difficulties. Now, I believe once you get through the initial story, that's when you can change your difficulty, just as it is in the Division 2. But again, I'm pretty early on in this thing. Let's get back to chat really quick. Once again, if you're just joining, do me a favor, hit that like button, hit that sub button, hit that join button as well. And once again, welcome to the channel, Brian, newest member. Thank you, buddy. Appreciate you. All right, let's get back to questions. Where were we? What is this trash game? What are you talking about, Maul? It's a Division mobile game. Have you played it yet? I'm curious. KZA, it is Division 1 vibes. It really, really is. It really, really is, you know? You do have that Division 1 feeling. Okay, really quick while I have this on screen. This is part of the menu. You can see it's the event center. It talks about the different things and different rewards you're going to get as you make your way through stuff. So right now we'll claim this first reward right here. Prologue, you get whatever, 20 different components. This is what we're doing right now, and as you make your way through, you're going to get those different rewards. For those of you just tuning in, again, I am playing on an iPad Pro, like, it's a 5 or 6 year old iPad, using my Xbox controller. You can also use the screen in conjunction with that if you want. So for instance, if you want to scroll using your hand, you can do that. If you're on your mobile device, like your phone, you can just use the touchscreen as well. And you can see right here what they're going to have. And again, this is just during the beta right now, and I'm sure they will have this once the game goes live. But when you log in for a certain amount of days, like you can see, look at that. I mean, that's my Scorpio's right there. I mean, are you kidding me? That's badass. So if I log in for 8 days straight, I'm getting that as a reward. And that's what, the game is going for. They want you to jump in, play for a little bit, all that stuff, but they really make it worth your while. So we're grabbing another thing right here, and I'm sure a lot of you are wondering, is this going to translate to the game itself? Anything I'm picking up now? I do not know. I do not believe it does, but I will let you know as soon as I do. You can see the talent, pretty much the same talent, a little bit different, but it also has an additional talent as well. So it has this top one, pretty much like the regular Scorpio. Also has in sync. Dealing skill damage increases weapon damage by 9% for 8 seconds. Dealing weapon damage increases skill damage by 9% for 8 seconds. Both effects are doubled if they are triggered at the same time, and that's on a Scorpio. Also has the talent Powerful. Every 5 seconds, shooting a hostile within 20 meteors. that's a long range too. Restores health equal to 600% of toughness. You see the different mods right here. And again, you can level stuff up as you're making your way through the game, which is pretty badass. So again, they really have given you that vibe of that progression, of making it worth your time to actually jump in and play. Oh, it's all good, Maul. Yeah, so here's the thing. So Maul, really quick, I'm glad you brought that up. One thing I want to point out, and again, it's the graphics you see. If you look at some other channels, the graphics are much better. My graphics are set to 30 FPS and medium, only because of the device I was playing on is like 5 years old, so I couldn't tweak it. This is, during the early access beta, blah, blah, blah. Putting that aside, if you see some other channels, it's going to look much better. It's going to look much better. But no, Maul, we're a family here. Always speak your mind, my friend. No, it is all good. I appreciate it. Seriously. GB in the 80s. I lived in the Bay Area. That's right. Love it. I'm in the East Bay. So, San Francisco's kind of a dumpster fire right now. But we're not. That is for another live stream, my friends. All right, getting back to questions. Fugazi, I was on the fence when I heard about this game. Seems to me they put some thought into the game. They really have. I thought this would be more of a money grab. We'll see when it drops. Look, it's going to be a money grab. But it's a question of how are they trying to grab that money. Does that make sense? Like, nothing I've encountered, and I'm basing this on my first time playing. I'll let you know as I progress in this time. never, first of all, monetization is turned off during this beta. So even if I wanted to buy something, I couldn't. Secondly, from what I've encountered from that first test, I've never been at a point where it's like, oh man, I felt the need to have to buy something in order to jump to something else, if that makes sense. So I believe, and again, we'll see. I don't like to speculate, but from everything I've seen so far, you buy what you want to buy. You don't buy what you don't want to buy. That kind of stuff. Yeah, Keith, it is. They're bringing exotic weapons and gear to this game. They are, from the Division 2 and from the... I know they're bringing Lady Death. They're bringing the Scorpio. There are a handful of other ones. Handful of other ones as well. I will be doing a deep dive at one point, going over all the different weapons that are in this game compared to others. And not only that, there are a lot of new game modes in this as well. And as the stream continues, we will see more footage on not the game modes, but you'll see the map as well, because again, this is brand new to me. I didn't get to play as much as I wanted to yesterday. Well, I did, but then I got sidetracked trying to crack safes. So like right here, here's a new talent, weak point detection. After hitting the same hostile 5 times, it increases damage dealt to them by 2.5% for 5 seconds, stacking up to 3 times. Now, we're going to talk about bullet sponginess. The yellow bars are bullet spongy as hell. And if you look at that talent, that does kind of indicate, it's going to take you a second to maybe take out an NPC. So that's one thing I noticed, but everything else is pretty smooth. It does take a while to get used to the movement of the game. You're going to see some lagging, not because of the game, but because of my being used to how it performs on console compared to just getting used to the adjustments. You can, adjust your camera movement speed, things like that. But that does take a little while to get used to, the speed in which, your cameras are set, things like that. And how the game actually performs compared to, a console or a PC version. Let's see where we're at. Hopefully, Killer Vic is saying, hopefully there will be different watch skins. Strange trying to be tactical in Division 2 with a Rolex. It's a very good point. I don't know. There's a lot of stuff. I mean, there's going to be a lot of stuff into the game. And I think, the main thing is, and this is a question I have, can you play the game and fully enjoy it without spending money? And I'm inclined to say yes. Certain cosmetics, of course, it's going to be, it's a mobile game. It's going to be built on monetization, but I do not think that is going to completely hinder anyone's gameplay, as you can play the game as you want. So if you want a certain skin, maybe you can earn it. Maybe you have to buy it. If you want to buy more resources, I'm sure you'll have the ability to do that. So we'll see what happens when the thing launches. I think that's the best way to go. You know what I mean? And here at the channel, I will always keep you informed of everything going on. All right, let's see what we got here. Code, no, Mustafa, unfortunately, I'm out of codes. If I get any more, I promise to put a post out there. They went really, really quick. Pretty overwhelmed with the response, which is awesome. And again, for a mobile game, you can see on screen, it does take a little getting used to. Certain things are set up a little bit differently. But you're having that feeling of just learning a new system in a Division game. And that, for me, is the best part. Like, we're all excited for the Division 3. There's no doubt about that. We have the Division Heartland on the horizon. We also have, obviously, this game, the Division Resurgence. And they're all standalone games, but they all tie together story-wise. You'll see here in a moment a few things. We'll get into it in a second. But we're witnessing the beginning of everything going on, and then it segues into the second game as well as far as your timeline. Oh man, real quick, sci-fi universes. You won't. Hang on, you want to see it? I think you do. The House Exotic, SMG, and Resurgence would be sick. And you can pet dogs. What are you going to do? Check that out. That's what I'm talking about. I think I stopped like 5 or 6 different times and pet different dogs. Just putting that out there. You will see that a bunch. Do me a favor, once again, if you're just tuning in, Welcome to the live stream. Feel free to ask any questions you want about the game. I will be answering them. We'll go from there. Yeah, you do want that. I figured that's what you meant. You know, you do want to see the house. So do I. That was my favorite weapon in the first game.
Don't have the manpower to patrol.
All right, gonna let the cutscene play out real quick.
Look, Agent, I'm not a wizard.
Yeah? What's up, Doc? Shit. What about the JTF? I hear you. Just hold on, okay? We're coming. I need the chopper again.
What? Again? But... Roger Wilco. Agent.
That was Doc O'Neill. The field hospital at Trinity Church has come under attack. That boy Kevin was right to be worried. They need help. I can count on you, right?
Of course.
Then let's go.
So this is what I was saying a moment ago. Anytime a main mission starts, you have that option of going as a solo player or using team matchmaking, which is pretty badass. Sure, you can set your settings to private if you just want to do your own thing the whole time. And again, we're going to be doing a deep dive. I'm going to be making my regular Division 2 content and this as well. So there's a lot of stuff. And I believe we have access to this for a minute. So it's going to be good. All right. We'll let this one play out as well. Yeah, let's do that.
Things are caught us with our pants down. It's a goddamn embarrassment. I just hope Doc O'Neill's all right.
How do you know him?
He treated my husband. Experimental gene therapy. Didn't work, but it was worth a try.
Your husband?
Died last year.
Coming up on the LZ! Incoming!
All right, back at it. Yeah, the gameplay is pretty damn good. And again, don't judge the graphics or the gameplay based on the footage you're seeing here, because you will see much higher quality stuff with a better device or a newer device. And that's very important to mention. This is kind of the bottom of the barrel, what you're going to hit. But yeah, I was just addicted to this thing, you know? Headshots, getting that loot. It's good stuff. Again, it's a Division game on a mobile device, which is a lot of fun. Let's get back to chat really quick. Sci-Fi is saying KVD said everyone can play the beta in the US. If you are picked to play the beta, the answer is yes. Now, the codes I gave out previously, they work anywhere in the world. And if you're in Australia and New Zealand, I believe, you can enter no matter what. Meaning you can play no matter what. I don't think you have to sign anything. Not sign anything, you know what I'm saying. You don't have to sign a damn thing anywhere, but I'm saying you don't have to sign up. I believe Australia and New Zealand, you can, yeah, you can just jump on no matter what. You don't have to be picked. All right, KZA, Agent Kelly, right? Agent Kelly over oh, let me tell you something. You're going to see in a minute. Agent Kelly is no joke. Agent Kelly is no joke whatsoever. She does not mess around. Well, we'll get to that in a second. I'm telling you. You'll see. Fugazi, you stopped playing Division 1 after Underground came out. What? Seems like you missed out big time. Yeah. Nothing really compares to the Division 1 in regard to game modes, things like that. I think that's one thing that we can all agree on with the Division 2. It was an improvement with the gameplay, all of those things. Great game. Absolutely love it, obviously. But game mode-wise, in my opinion, the first one, it's just untouchable. And that game was lightning in the bottle. And I really have a feeling with the third game, it's going to be like the first game and the second game had like a super baby. You know what I mean? At least that's my hope. So we'll see what happens. But again, that is a long... We got a minute until we're talking about that. But trust me, I'm going to be here when we are. King's Creation. What is going on, kid? Everyone, a King's Creation is in chat right now. If you have not subscribed to his channel, you should. Just do it. Don't ask questions. Don't think it through. You know I'll never mislead you. Go to that channel, subscribe. Great human being, great content creator. And you know how I led with the first thing, the human being part? That's the most important thing in my opinion. Really good dude. Really great content creator. And thank you for being here, my friend. I appreciate it. It's been a minute since I've done a live stream, so I'm just rambling. Showing some gameplay, having some coffee. You know how we do this. Once again, everyone, if you were just joining, do me a favor. We're at 53 viewers, 39 likes. If you haven't done so as yet, hit that like button, hit that sub button. You can hit that join button as well if you're so inclined. Sci-Fi is saying yes. BlueStacks on PC will play Resurgence, no problem. I've been seeing a lot of, since actually we started this stream, got a few emails from people saying, hey, yes, it does, BlueStacks does work. I have no idea how that works, to be honest with you, but I'm going to check it out as soon as this live stream is over. Because I'm obsessed with this game. And again, to be clear, do not allow this footage you're seeing to let you think this is as good as the footage is going to get in regard to the quality, because you can see I'm locked at 30 FPS. That is a choice. And the quality, graphic quality is set at medium. You will see much better footage out there. So I suggest, obviously, check out other channels, watch other stuff. You know, that's the most important thing. And as I get more and more information, I hit that shot. Was it the... No, it's the pillar. Anyway, I'll keep you posted on everything else. VVVVVVVV is so confused. Anyone can play it on Friday for 2 months. Do you have to be approved for the beta? Okay, so here's how it works. In the video description is a link to sign up for the beta. If you are chosen, you will get a code and then you can play. The only people in the world at this point that can play no matter what, if you live in Australia or New Zealand, you don't need a code, you can play. Everyone else has to get an access code in order to have access to the regional beta that's going on. Everyone else in the world. So if you live in the US, you know, whatever. I forgot where the other places are right now. Brazil and Australia, I think it's those three. I don't know. Just making stuff up now. But anyway, point is, if you're in the US, you got to get a code. If you don't have a code, you're not going to be able to play. I had some codes to hand out. They were handed out already. Hoping I get more. And hopefully the game will continue to hand out stuff as well. But in the video description of this live stream, you will see a link. Hopefully, if you go there, you can still sign up and have a chance to get to play. Oh, King, of course. Always give you a shout out, my friend. George is saying, I agree that Division 3 will be a combination of both games with something extra thrown in. Division 3 will be a mine. I really think it's going to be amazing. And here's the thing. So I think one thing that's not frustrating. Well, maybe it is frustrating. It probably is. Let me know what you think in chat. First, to be very clear, there's this misconception that people think, oh, the reason why we haven't gotten new stuff for the Division 2 is because the Division Mobile or whatever. Completely different studios, totally different entities. I know it's Ubisoft, but that does not mean those two. Again, these are connected story-wise, but the teams are completely and totally different. And what we're seeing is different game modes, different things, and just new stuff to do in a mobile game. And people in the Division 2 is like, well, where's our new stuff? You know, we're in year 5. Where's our... Yeah, we got a new incursion, or we have Countdown from, you know, a year ago, or whatever it is. So I think when you see frustration in people thinking a Division mobile game, that's why. There's that kind of bitterness, you know? It's like, well, we've been waiting. This is what I've felt, and I've talked about this for a while, is that the franchise was dormant for a while. And the manner in which they announced the third game, so like, oh, hey, by the way, here's what's going on. And the fact that it's Julian Garrity coming back to spearhead the entire franchise, that's a really big deal. And again, that's a conversation for a different video. But I think what happens is anytime you hear the word mobile, your immediate reaction is microtransactions, and it's going to just suck unless you pay a ton of money. Everything I've encountered so far is, you know, to the contrary of that. I will always be open and honest with you. I'll let you know what I think when this thing, you know, officially launches. But I have not, at this point, run into any doors whatsoever because I am not going to pay for something. I'm not talking about cosmetics. You want to pay and buy a t-shirt, great, all this stuff, whatever. There's a PvP element in this game. Not about pay to win. We're going to see what happens, you know, when this thing launches. And during this event, just so you know, there is no, the monetization is closed during the beta. So you can't buy a damn thing, even if you wanted to. All right, what do we got? Let's go back to, where were we? Division 3 is going to be that super baby. Yeah, of course. Yeah, you got it. I don't know. V. Yeah. You got it, buddy. Happy to help. Happy to answer questions. See, this is why it's great to have pre-recorded footage. I can just focus on this. Otherwise, I would have been dead like 1,500 times. Once again, if you're just tuning in, do me a favor. Like button, sub button. You can hit that join button as well. We have one new member, Brian. Appreciate you, buddy. Thank you. That does help the channel a lot. All the support does. But you know, it doesn't matter. Join, not join, this, that. We are family here. Oh, and one thing someone asked earlier. This has no impact on my making Division 2 videos. That's never going to change. For me personally, the last 2 months have been pretty damn hectic. You've noticed that a lot of my videos, I just haven't posted as many as I do. That is going to get back. I'm going to get back to my normal routine. I think we're going to see a lot of things continue to change with the game in a positive way, the Division 2, as we get into the new year. So there's a lot of stuff to look forward to, in my opinion. And I'm going to be here the whole time, agents. Everything Division related, I'm going to be covering. Because I love the franchise. End of story. You'll see me cover other, I'll cover other games as well. But it takes, King and I, we've had this conversation. It takes a lot to cover a game at a channel. You need to be passionate about it. Oh wait, check this out. I want to be quiet.
I said strawberry, not chocolate. And it's not even cold. But I couldn't find any strawberries.
Let's move on.
That character Jax straight up shot someone because he didn't have strawberry ice cream. It's kind of jacked up. No pun intended. Anyway, going back to what I was saying, you have to really be into a franchise to cover a game on a consistent basis. And that's how I am about the Division. And I'm going to cover other games here as well, but to be clear, I will always cover anything Division based because it's one of the best franchises, in my opinion, I've ever seen. So anyway, KZA, shout out to the OG Rainbows, Ghosts, Agents, and Rogues. Oh man, Ghost Recon, love that thing too. Yeah, you know what, Sci-Fi? Yeah, Garrity is gonna run a tight ship. Like he's phenomenal at what he does. And here's what I want to talk about really quick. So on the note, we're gonna kind of jump ship and talk about the Division 3 for a brief moment. Julian Garrity, who is going to be overseeing everything Division-based, from the mobile game to the Heartland to the Division 3 to the Division 2 as well. He's spearheading everything. He just finished up Star Wars Outlaws, which is easily the most anticipated game of next year, without a doubt. He has the keys to the castle. He can do whatever he wants. He's choosing to come back to this franchise because we know how amazing it can be, and I think what was, tough for a lot of people out there, we didn't feel that the second game got the recognition or the support that we all felt it should have, because it's truly an incredible game. We had the pandemic, we had other stuff go on, there was just a bunch of stuff that went sideways. But I think as we roll into next year, we're going to see that major shift in this entire franchise. We're seeing more social media posts, we're seeing more interaction with the community. And that to me is that indication of forward progress, which is what we all want. And it's not just about a mobile game, it's about everything. And specifically talking about this, I can't put this game down. Like, all I'm thinking about at this moment is when I'm done with the live stream, I'm going to jump back on and no, I have to record a Division 2 video for tomorrow morning, but after that, I'm jumping back into this thing. I want to farm, I want to go through missions, I want to see what else is discovered in the world. Like, you'll see at the end of the video at this footage, I'm finding random safes in stores, and then you have to find a clue to crack the code. It's badass. Yeah, it's good stuff. All right, let's get back to it really quick. Gage is asking, is there any update on Heartland? No, there's nothing. Nothing whatsoever. All we know is this. We are going to hear something about Heartland at the beginning of next year at one point. That is the only thing we know. And the beginning could mean first quarter. It could mean any time between January and the end of March. You know, so if you went to the Apple Store right now, you'd see that The Division Resurgence is scheduled to be released on March 31st of next year. Could be earlier. Hopefully it won't be later. But I don't know how the timing of everything is going to work with Heartland, to be honest with you. I have no idea, because if we also time with The Division 2 Year 5 Season 4, that's going to be dropping as of this point, I think, in what? June of next year? So we go from Resurgence to Year 5 Season 4, which is the story DLC. And I don't know the window that they would put Heartland in at this point. But hopefully we get something soon, because that game is sick. Like, again, there's a lot of great stuff to look forward to. There really, really is. There really is. So getting back to the gameplay footage once again, to be clear, you can see him at 30 FPS. Graphic quality is medium. The device I was playing on is about 5, maybe between 5 and 6 years old, I think. I can't believe that. I can't believe I had an iPad that long. Like, I swear, I thought it was like brand new. Like, the time goes too quick. Whatever. Anyway, moving on. What's that, King? Facts. It's all about excitement. Yep, played Remnant 2 DLC, and you was like, you missed Division 2 already. So one problem we have, and again, if you're just joining, welcome to the live stream. It's been a minute since I've done one, so I'm probably tripping over my words a bunch, so thank you for being so wonderful and patient. When one issue, the main issue I have with the Division franchise, and just let me play this out before you attack, it ruined gaming for me in many ways. The reason I say that is for the simple fact, when I play another game, I enjoy it, but I immediately say to myself, it's not the Division. You know, I'll play a looter shooter. No, there's no other looter shooter like this, but I'll play a different game. That's not the Division. I'm into it. I love it. There's some amazing games out there. Ghost of Tsushima, one of my favorite games of all time. Completely different style of game. It's not the Division. You know, Horizon Forbidden West, Horizon Zero Dawn. Beautiful God of War, all those things. Beautiful, amazing games. But there's something about a looter shooter, especially that is as immersive as this one, that you can't shake. Once that you're bitten by that bug, it's lights out. So you can't really compare it to anything else, and that's the problem. The biggest complaint you hear from people is they want more stuff to do in the game they love. We're going to let this cutscene play really quick. I'll be right back.
Damn scum.
And, yeah. Keep those questions coming.
Where were you? You're Division, aren't you? Where the hell were you? You were supposed to protect us, damn it.
I'm sorry, Dr.
Ugh, whatever. I'm sure you tried.
Doc O'Neill, is he?
Gone. With the others.
He told them to take him instead of me.
Is your name Gabrielle, by any chance?
Yes. Yes, it is. Why?
Someone wants to talk to you.
Hello? Kevin!
You know where they went?
No clue. Just caught a name. Jax. Seemed to be the top rabid dog.
All right. Let's go look outside. See what we can see. Sorry about this.
Yeah. Me too.
Now, for those of you that played the first game, you recognize that doctor. She's one of the first characters you run into from that first game. So again, what's also great about this mobile... Oh, really quick, with chat, check this out. I wanted to put this in here. You can see what other people are talking if you have your chat on. And you see at the top, Guy Johnny is like, what are you saying, lads, about the test so far? PVT Ryan, love it, I want to quit my job. That has been the overwhelming consensus about this game, is people are absolutely loving it. And apparently they're really strict with chat because, you know, Johnny wrote the word lit and he got, what's it called? I can't think of the term. when you're censored. Why couldn't I think of that word? Egad. Anyway, people are loving this thing. Let me go back to questions really quick. Oh no, I was just talking about a second ago. Jessica Kendall, first game. So there's going to be a lot of story arcs that people who have played the entire franchise, because you're dropping into this, it's during the events of the first game and the second. And you'll see a little more in a little bit. There's a great cutscene, and I will be quiet for it. This is just kind of, one of your echoes that you're going to counter when you first start. Getting back to your questions, so we answered the Heartland one. Yes, sci-fi, I also think there's going to be a big change with the DLC drop. That's what everyone's looking forward to. That really, really is. I also think with Year 5 Season 3, it's going back to New York. We have the holiday event next month. I think that's when we're really going to see, start to see some really, in my opinion, some great traction. Silver, what's going on, my friend? Were you playing with a controller? Yes, I was. I was using my Xbox controller on my iPad. Felt just like the regular game. It does take a little getting used to. Camera speed, a few things here and there. But, yeah, it really played well. And not only that, I was talking about this if you missed the initial part.
Make sure you have enough ammo and come find me when
One thing that I love is that the controller translates from the regular game to the mobile game. Meaning, for me at least, I play an Xbox typically, or I use an Xbox controller. B is vault. A is cover. When you're pressing the right trigger, you're firing. Left trigger is zooming in, all of that stuff. You can go from third person to first person if you want. Whatever you want to do. It's pretty badass. What you're seeing on screen right now, we're just going to go through some menu things really quick. You do get daily login bonuses. That's another great thing about this game. So if you want to earn certain things, logging in on a daily basis will help you do that. Clans are going to have a huge impact on this game. And that's, again, something we are going to discuss for a different video, because there's a lot to cover. There are tons of different weapons that are not in any of the games. There's a lot of great stuff to go over. You have new talents, a bunch of different stuff. And I will be bringing you videos on this, as well as my regular Division 2 videos as well. These are the resources you're earning when you are playing the game. You're buying different caches, you're getting different things, and you'll also notice, you'll see here in a moment, or towards the end of this, you have the ability, they're like cracking safes and stuff like that. I know I've mentioned it a bunch, but when we get to that footage, you'll see exactly what I'm talking about, because it's pretty badass. Okay, here we go. Let's see what we got here. So I was playing it with controller, I addressed that. Yeah, Gage, there's a ton of potential with this franchise. Without a doubt, 1,000%. Cosmic. Right now, if you go to the video description and check, I gotta pet another dog. I'm trying to see if I can play this entire game without missing any dog to pet. Meaning, if I don't see them, I don't see them. But if I see a dog, I need to stop what I'm doing and pet the dog. All right, so here's what's up. There's a link in the video description that should take you to the sign up page to sign up for the beta. Doesn't mean you're going to be picked. They pick people at random. So I wish you nothing but the best of luck. Unfortunately, I had some codes. They've already been passed out. But if you're in the US and you want to play, hit the link in the video description. At the very bottom, there should be a link that takes you, once you hit the link in the video description, at the bottom of that page, there should be another link that you press that takes you to the sign up page, and hopefully you get picked. I believe they're still allowing people to try to sign up. And if I get any more codes, trust me, I will let you know. We did not do that now because I was like, wait, you know what? We're not going to do that at this moment. We're going to jump to finish out the main mission. So again, that's how you do it. Tony's back. His phone died, but he's back. There we go. King, I'm telling you. And King, I don't have any more codes, man. Damn it, King. Damn it. It's just a lot of fun. So really quick, what you're looking at on screen right now, once again, anytime you start a main mission, you want to go solo, you want a group, it's totally up to you. You're not forced into anything whatsoever, which is pretty badass. And I like that. I like having that choice, how you're going to play the game. Would a PlayStation controller work with your iPhone per se? I believe it would, yeah. I think any Bluetooth controller is totally good. And yes, it is Bluetooth controller connectivity. Nothing is hardwired. The only thing I have hardwired is my iPad to my computer monitor, so I can play on my monitor. But I could also, you know, stream it to the TV if I wanted to do that, you know. And again, you know, the graphics are looking a little bit blocky and choppy and whatever, maybe not as polished. That's because of my settings. You will see much better quality out there. So I'll make sure I mention that. I'm hoping in my next footage I'll use my phone, which is much newer than my iPad, to record this stuff. But yeah, any Bluetooth controller. So when I'm playing, what I'm doing is this. I'm using my Xbox controller Bluetooth through my iPad. Also using my, you know, Bluetooth headphones through my iPad. It's recording everything. Totally good to go. Let's see what we got here. Ride Fugazi. You got it. Yeah, it's dog mission. You got to pet every dog in the game. Do me a favor once again, if you are just joining, hit that like button. If you haven't as yet, feel free to hit that sub or join button as well. Any support of the channel helps out. Silver, you are very welcome. I'm happy I could answer that question for you. Yeah, okay, so yeah, Gage is saying he has seen PS5. Yeah, I have too. I just wanted to make sure. So yeah, you should be good to go. Sci-Fi is saying, did you know that Massive is hiring Bungie devs that were laid off from Bungie? Most of them work on Division 1. So, look, there's... we're also going to see an influx of players coming from... what's it called? What's that game? I can't think of it. Oh my gosh, I'm drawing a complete and total blank at this moment. Destiny. We're going to see a lot of people jump from Destiny coming back to the Division, because the one thing about the Division, and we think we'd all agree, is that there's been a content drought for a very long time. And yes, we've had certain game modes, but it's not the same. That replayability isn't what it was. And we are now starting to get into what it was. The first incursion, in my opinion, is totally badass. I hope there are more, but we are going to see that shift into putting that new replayability back into the franchise. But that's awesome to see. I totally believe that. If they're getting devs that were laid off from Bungie that worked on Div 1, it's a huge thing. It's a really big thing. And again, with Div 2, when we had Warlords drop, we also had a pandemic drop. A lot of this stuff is really bad timing as well. So I think the gaming industry has been struggling. They've been, you know, gasping for air up until the last like 6 months, and now I think we're actually getting full stride again. Okay, check this out. I'm going to be quiet. This is the part I was talking about with Agent Kelly.
I ain't telling you shit. My knee! God, it hurts!
I'll ask again. Where are the hostages?
Jack got him up by the statue. He's crazy. He's loading the supplies up to a ferry and rigging the whole place to bomb.
Mercy kill. We're out of time.
What the hell? We're SHD. This is not how we do things. That man was unarmed.
You think he'd hesitate to pick up another gun and shoot us in the back? Safer this way. Let's move. We're losing time.
What did I tell you? Agent Kelly is no joke. She is not playing around. I don't know her backstory, but I cannot wait to find out. Yeah, that's KZA. That's a little more than aggressive. Agree to disagree there. That's straight up murder. But I mean, she's like, I'm gonna shoot you in the knee, make you suffer a bit, and then, yeah, shot to the dome. Egad. Anyway, let's get back to questions really quick. You're watching while you grind open world bases in the Division 1 because you're bored. I hope you're not bored with me, Cosmic. My feelings are hurt. I know what you meant, man. I'm messing with you. Yeah, so I mean, that's the one thing that's great about this game, and I hope anyone listening, you do have access. Let me know if you wind up getting it. If I am given any more codes, I promise to let you know as quickly as possible. I already reached out to the Resurgence saying, hey, can I get any more? They're like, no, we have none to give out at this point. Like, a lot of people are going. So there's that initial feeling, and this is something I talked about earlier in the live stream. You hear a mobile game, you're like, nope. And okay, let's take it a step back. You're a Division player. You love the first game, you love the second game. You hear the Division mobile. And you're like, no, just no. What am I going to use? I'm going to use a touchpad on the screen or whatever it may be. And that does work well. Also, it's much different. Much bigger fan of a controller. And I guess that means I'm going to have to keep a controller in my car everywhere I go. But anyway. You automatically think this is going to be terrible. It's a mobile game. It's not a Division game. What's going on here? How are they going to get the Division on a mobile device? And what they've done is they put the Division on a mobile device. Somehow they cracked the code. And it does have that Division 1 and Division 2 vibe to it. But those Division 1 feelings are there. And for me, I think one of the main reasons I'm so amped up about this game is because I feel like I'm playing the franchise for the first time. I remember when the first game came out. I didn't have a channel. I didn't start a channel until about 3.5 years ago. I started my channel when Warlords came out. And little things like this you're seeing on screen. You know, I got to pull like a lethal weapon here. I'm aging myself there, but whatever. Got to move the wire. Got to cut the right wire. All this stuff. These little things. These small little details in the game. And really quick, just so you know, I'm playing with a controller, but to do that, I use my finger on the screen to do it properly. So you can bounce from one to the other, which is great. Anyway, there's this feeling of when you hear mobile game, as a Division fan, you're automatically turned off. But I'm telling you, the second you play it, you're like, oh man, I gotta kind of take my words back. All right, let's get back to questions really quick. Once again, if you're just joining, like, sub, join button, all that good stuff. But yeah, the rifle is pretty. Yeah, this marksman rifle is sick, and it makes me think to myself, why do I not run more marksman rifle builds in the Division 2? Like, it's a lot of fun. Destiny has fallen off. Yeah, I mean the whole Bungie thing. Don't get me started on that. That's just awful. It's just corporate greed. Whatever. I don't want to get into that. Yeah, Cosmic. Agent Kelly's no joke. She's like, shoot first, ask questions later. DEA police? I don't know where the drugs are, man. Maybe she's got a little side hustle going. We will see. You can move while you're scoped in. Just all these little things. And again, you can fire only in first person as well if you choose that. So you can go from you can go from third to first just by aiming down scope if you choose to do that. Not just with your marksman rifle, but if you're using an SMG and you want to, you can change the settings so that way if you're rolling in third person, once you fire, it immediately transfers to first, if that's your thing. For me, I like keeping it in third person. That's you know, one of my favorite things about the game.
You heard?
Oh, she got a bum wing. She got clipped. All right, let's get back to... Hey, Riggs. Thank you, KZA. Appreciate you. That was awesome. Yeah, okay, so, and again, brother, no, the animation, because of the settings I have right now, are not that great. And that is due to my settings, not the actual animation of the game. And it is important to mention that, and I'm not here to be like, oh, everything's perfect. Not saying that at all. But your settings will have a major impact on how the game looks, and my settings are set to pretty much the bare minimum. So that will have an impact on the game. Or, excuse me, on what you're actually seeing. It looks very... You know, it's not that sharp. It's not that clear. It's looking very boxy. That is because of my settings, not because of the game itself. So I do want to make sure I mention that as we move on. Okay, so what I have, hang on, I have it right here. So what I have for my monitor. So again, I have the iPad Pro 2. Again, it's 5 years old. I have something called a J5 Create, and it's this plug that plugs into the bottom of the iPad. And what it does at the other end of the plug, you have a USB, an HDMI, and a power source plug. So that way you can actually charge the device as you're playing, so you're not ripping through the battery. And the HDMI just goes from the iPad directly into your monitor or TV or whatever. And if you have Apple TV, and again, I'm basing this as a player who plays on an iPad. I have Apple TV, so I can just stream it to the television as well, which is great. Again, there is that delay, so for me, playing it on the monitor is much more enjoyable. So, that's what we have there. Gage, I appreciate you. Thank you so much for swinging by. Appreciate you. Feed 890, what is going on? Good to see you, my friend. Oh, Bandit, what's going on? Did you miss the giveaway, Bandit? We did not have a giveaway on this stream. The codes went yesterday really damn fast. Put something up on Twitter. I did not expect to get the feedback that I did. A big part of that could have been Lieutenant Buzz Lightyear actually retweeted my tweet, and I think that got some traction as well, so huge shout out to him for doing that. But anyway, yeah, I don't have any more codes now. I've been hounding the game to try to get more. They've already said no, but I'm going to keep going at it. And what I mentioned earlier is if in the comment section, excuse me, not the comment section, in the video description of this video, sounded with the video description. Yeah, the video description of this video, whatever. Point is this. Oh, I gotta get that. You should have heard me when I was playing. I'm like, oh, I want to hit that, gasoline tank, and I was too slow with the reload. But in the video description, you will see a link that will take you to the sign-up page to be considered for the beta test. I do not know if it's still accepting people to sign up. Hopefully they are. I believe any codes that they're handing out, because the actual beta itself doesn't begin until tomorrow. I was fortunate enough, I'm in the Ubisoft partner program. I have been for about, I don't know, maybe 6 months now, something like that. I was fortunate enough to get early access, and I was also given 10 codes to give away, which I already have. But the actual beta itself begins tomorrow, and I think it goes on for a few months. So even if you don't get selected right away, strongly recommend signing up no matter what, because they could just continue to pass these things out. So yeah, I would definitely recommend doing that. Let's see what's going on here. What gear sets are in Resurgence? No ideas yet, Sci-Fi. None whatsoever, honestly. I'm assuming there are gear sets. I haven't encountered any yet, but again, I'm at level... Where's my level right now? I don't even see it on the screen. In this gameplay footage, I'm at level like 3, 4. As you progress... Oh, there we go. Where are we at? Power level went up. I mean, we've got purple gear. Rocking it. See a hunter's code? There's a lot going on here. But again, none of that is a gear set. So I haven't encountered any gear sets as yet, but I'm assuming they're going to have them. And there's some insane talents in this game as well. For those of you joining in, I will be doing a deep dive into everything. I'm at character level 4. So I'm assuming if it's anything like the first game, you get to max level 30, 40, whatever it is, and that's when certain things unlock. I have no idea. We're going to see what happens. All right, I'm going to let this play out real quick, have a sip of water. I'll be right back. And I will get back to your questions.
You and your kind, your days are over. Society is just a sham. All it took was a hyped-up flu to tear it all down.
You're wrong. We'll get through this. We'll rebuild.
Yeah, you tell yourself that. Lucky for you, Santa came early this year. Merry fucking Christmas!
Morning, Agent. And it actually is morning, too. Good timing. Your vitals look good enough. How about you try and sit up for me?
How long?
Well, you missed Santa. Not that there was much to miss. And the following weeks, too.
I've been out for a month?
And change. Yeah, you're damn lucky Dr. O'Neill was there when they fished you out of the water. It'll be a while before you're fully recovered, but better you get back on the horse than lie around here. Besides, we need the bed. They put what they could salvage of your gear in storage. Might want to pick that up first. And then Fei Lao wants to see you over in Ops. It's not over, not by a long shot. You'll have your hands full.
Oh, I look so tired. I've been through so much. And again, there are all these references from the first game. Jessica Candle, whatever it is. You know, she was one of the first doctors we encountered. We rescued her from the arena, whatever that arena was, from the first game. So it's awesome. It's like this, and we're about to talk to Fei Lao. We'll get into that in a second. Got it. Flash, I see you, my friend. What is going on? You know, you feel like you know someone. Like, we've chatted so many different times in different comment sections of videos. Good to see you, my friend. Thank you for thanks for showing up. Again, if you're just joining, do me a favor, hit that like button, hit that sub button. If you want to support the channel, feel free to hit that join button as well. It really does help out. Toneway, I see you. What's going on, my friend? How do you receive the codes? Bandit is asking, how do you receive the codes when you sign up? So if you sign up, and you have to be chosen to get a code. If they randomly choose you to get a code, you will get an email saying that you've received a code, and you go from there, and they give you all the links and all of that stuff. So it's just signing up does not mean you're going to get one. It means you are in the pool of people who may be picked to get one. But if you live in Australia or New Zealand, no matter what, I think you can play this thing. So just putting that out there. But anyway, Flash, good to see you, my friend. Bandit, I hope that answers your question. Cosmic, I'm telling you, having a voice in your character makes a big difference when you're playing. It really does. You're not, again, I like the whole silent, you know, the whole silent type. But having you're like, hey, that's me. I like that. I dig that. Right on. So yeah, it's good stuff. So right now you can see really quick, I just want to go over what you're looking at on screen. Just as in the Division 1, Division 2, you have the ability to dismantle any items that you do not want to use. You're going to get different components, different things for it. Say you get basic. I didn't see what that first thing was. I saw one was fabric or whatever. But anyway, same kind of thing. Very early on in your gameplay, a lot of questions have been asked about, are there going to be exotics in the game? The answer is yes. Are going to be gear sets? I'm assuming the answer is yes, but I haven't gotten to that point as yet. You're going to see a bunch of talents that are just non-existent in the game, in either Division 1 or Division 2, so that makes it a lot of fun as well. Tons of build diversity. You have the ability to upgrade all your weapons, all of that stuff. I believe, you know, if you find the right weapon early on in the game, I think you'll be able to upgrade it to compete with the level that you're at. I think. I could be completely wrong. Again, I'm early on in this thing. But it really makes the grind enjoyable. And you're going to see, you know, we talked about a moment ago, there was a scene where there was a bomb I had to dismantle. I had to unscrew, you know, this lockbox and open it up and move the wires and cut the correct one. We're going to talk about, I'll show you in a little bit, there's soon to be a lot of things like that in this game.
Did you hear? That first wave agent over
which is really good, which makes it a lot of fun. So we'll get into that in a moment.
Yeah.
Once we speak with, oh, actually, you know what? We're going to cut to Fei Lao. When she's talking, I'm going to mute it because it's going to give you an idea of where this game falls in the time frame between the first and second game.
Look who's up and about. How are you feeling, Agent?
A little sore.
Yeah. Candle told me they plucked enough shrapnel out of you to fill a bucket. I'm Agent Fei Lao, Acting Division Commander in Midtown.
What's the situation?
Better than it was, but far from good. First wave agents like you are now a rare breed. Most are either MIA, KIA, or Rogue.
Chief Meyer?
KIA.
Commander Chang?
KIA. I was there.
Damn.
Not long after you were injured, many First Wave agents were lost in the Dark Zone. POTUS activated a second wave in early January. We've been fighting to regain control of Manhattan ever since. Our biggest headache was a PMC called the Last Man Battalion. Their leader, Charles Bliss, had a pretty messed up idea what the future should look like. But we eliminated that threat. When the guards abandoned Rikers Island, the prisoners escaped. They were wreaking havoc on the city. When we took out their leader, LeRae Barrett, they scattered. Not many of them are left in Midtown. The JTF is planning an assault on one of their last strongholds in Clinton. We also had the cleaners to contend with, and their boss, Joe Farrow, the one obsessed with cleaning the city of the virus. Happy to torch anything and anyone standing in their way. We dealt with them too, for the most part. And then there's the asshole who caused all of this. The variola chimera, better known as the green poison virus, was engineered and released by a deranged professor named Gordon Amherst. He had some sick notion about using natural selection to save humanity. His virus would weed out the weak. Amherst is no longer a threat. He was killed by his own creation. We recovered his research, and Dr. Candle says we're close to developing a vaccine.
You said agents have gone rogue. You mean they betrayed us?
It's not something we like to advertise. The alpha among them is Aaron Keener. He's still at large. In summary, the situation isn't good, but it's not as bad as it was. There are bands of Rikers still around, but it's been a while since we saw any cleaners and whatever remains of the LMB. On a happier note, I'm sure you'll be glad to know that the civvies you got out of Chinatown are alive and well. They're building a settlement here. I'm sure they'd appreciate any assistance you can give them. You might even run into an old friend or two. Things are better, but the streets aren't exactly safe. Before you head out, make sure your kit is fully stocked. Good luck out there, Agent. Dr. Kendall said you might experience some lingering effects of the coma, but she expects you to heal quickly. That's good, because we need you. The city needs you. As for me, I'll be here, trying to keep this operation from running off the rails. If you need anything, you know where to find me.
I mean, how amped do you get just seeing that stuff? I mean, it just takes you back, right? And who said it? Brother No. Yeah, it's like the Division 1.5. Another thing you made a comment on was you think you might get into it. It seems like slow-paced when you have the time to aim and you're not being rushed by mobs. Keep in mind, this is early gameplay, and there have been a few situations, that aren't on this video, where you're getting flanked left and right. A lot of the time, I mean, they have the instant med kits, which are absolutely fantastic. I love that being back in this game. Yeah, it's something I really liked from the first game. But anyway, putting that aside, you do have those moments where you're just getting rushed left, right, and center, and you have to keep your head on a swivel, and I absolutely love that. And again, this is on story mode. And for those of you that have played the game, you have that sense memory. You know when to hit cover, all of that. One thing I ran into is I'm used to a certain run and gun builds from the second game. I'm realizing, obviously, they don't hit as hard right now in this game. But it's still, it's really a lot of fun. It's a brand new Division game, and I love that. And it just happened. You know what? The way I look at it right now, it's a brand new Division game that happens to be on a mobile device. And this is when, by the way, at this point, that was the whole prelogue that we just witnessed and went through. And I will get to your chat questions in a second. Now the open world opens up. You've got your main missions. Continue the main mission storyline to unlock more features and content. This is your main path of progression. Side missions. You have new side missions will unlock as you progress in the game, offering short stories of the city and its inhabitants, which, by the way, it's all going to link in story-wise between the first and second game. Explore the world, find world events and hostile nests activities to complete for various rewards. Discover secrets from collectible items, all of these things. And that's what really, one thing that I love about the first and second game is when you just stop. I'm going to use the term, you stop farming for a minute, right? And you just completely and totally soak in your surroundings. I said this earlier, one problem I have with this franchise is that it ruined a lot of games for me, because no matter what, I compare it to this game, and there's no other game like it, in my opinion. I'm pretty sure if you're here, you feel the same way. So, anyway, let's see what we got here. I'm going to get back to chat really quick. Oh, King, did I miss you? I think King took off. That's a bummer. Let me make sure I didn't miss anything. King's Creation, again, if you are new to his channel, or if you haven't subscribed to a channel, check him out. Okay, we answered. We talked about the whole getting rushed by mobs thing. Bandit, happy I could answer. Code giveaway, don't have any. I answered that. Yes, those boxes on the gear are mod slots, Fugazi. That is absolutely accurate. I just hope, you know, I hope that guy Rogue Gold doesn't. Oh, yeah, Rogue Gold. What a surprise. I'm so happy you're here. What's up, buddy? Everyone, Division legend in the house, Rogue Gold. I wasn't talking smack. I was just trying to be funny. There's no way you're not subscribed to his channel. But if you are, if you happen to not be subscribed to his channel, I want you to leave this live stream right now, and I want you to go sub to his channel. That's what you need to do. Just turn me off the screen, bounce over there. Division legend in the building, Rogue Gold. Thank you so much for being here, buddy. Appreciate you, man. Really, really do. Really, really do. You're awesome. Good to see you. Good to see you. What are your thoughts on it so far? Would love to hear your thoughts. Fugazi, the arm animations remind me of Ricky Bobby. I don't know what to do with my hands. Right, you ain't first, you're last. Good stuff. Anarchy Rider saying, yeah, Rogue's here. Everyone. Rogue, tell me, what are your thoughts on this game so far? And then once again, I appreciate you being here, buddy. He and I have chatted about the game. And we were I think we were on a... When were we talking last? We were on a call, what? Yesterday? The day before? I don't know, whatever. But one thing, one of the many things, thankfully, we agree on is that no matter what, and this is something I've touched on multiple times in this video, is there's immediately going to be a stigma with the word mobile game. And if you're a Division fan, you're just thinking, you know what? That. I don't want to deal with it. Like, I'm not, it's a mobile game. I don't want to touch it. I'm not dealing. There's just nothing I want to, just keep it away from me. When you actually play this thing and you see that it's actually a Division game that happens to be on a mobile device, that's the big difference. You know what I'm saying? So for me, that's what I love. So really quick, we're going to look at the screen real quick. We got our main missions. We got our side missions. For those of you just tuning in, I should be chatting for another, I don't know, 30, 40 minutes, something like that. So welcome to the live stream. If you're just tuning in, do me a favor, hit that like button, sub button, join button as well if you like. Yeah, you know, it's again, that vibe from the first game. It's like, you know, someone put it perfectly. It's like Division 1.5, you know? So on the left side of the screen, you're seeing those 3 main missions you can repeat at certain points. Now, you'll see in a second as I click on it. Right now, because it's our first run through, there's only story mission. Now, I don't know how far we need to get in the game. I assume you finish all the main missions, the main campaign. That's going to unlock the different difficulties. Just like in the regular game, you're going to see, you know, your rewards, what you're going to get. You can see them right there underneath the mission replay. So you know when you hit these spots up, you're going to get some good farming stuff. And when you look at the map itself, obviously you see the dark zone on the right-hand side. These are all the different world events, supply runs, arms deal, disruption, outpost restoration, hostage rescue, just a bunch of different stuff to cover. I do not know how these repopulate as yet. I will keep you posted as I continue on. But it's been a lot of fun. Look at the safe houses. It takes you back, you know. Camp Hudson, Dante's Run, all of this stuff. Autumn's Hope. Yeah, it's just really sick. It's really, really awesome. All right, let me get back to chat. Rogue is saying, enjoyment greatly increased by 60 FPS. So again, as I've said multiple times, for those of you just tuning in, do not let the footage you're seeing on screen make you think this is as good as it gets, because this is pretty much as bad as it gets. My settings are not maximized, not even close, so that's going to have a huge impact on how the game performs in regard to its look. I've had no crashing issues, I had no lagging issues, but again, this is not maxed out, the settings. But yeah, it's awesome. Yeah, Rogue, if you follow him on Twitter, which I'm assuming you all do, and sub to his channel, he put out a clip of it in 60 FPS. It looks sick. It makes me want to just go buy a new iPad just for this game, which I may do. And if I do it, I'm going to say all of you pressured me. Do me a favor, everyone in chat right now, I want you to type buy an iPad. No, take that back. I want you to type in buy a new iPad. That way, when I need a point of reference, when my wife's like, why'd you buy a new iPad? Yours was fine. I can say, look, everyone told me to buy one. And you know how I am. I'm peer pressure. I don't have my own identity. I don't roll like that. I need people tell me to do something, I do it. So if everyone could type in buy a new iPad, that is going to be my alibi, if you will. All right, so what do we have here? Okay, so check it out. This is another thing. You can add different protocols to your watch. Continuous fire increases your weapon damage by bonus by 12%. And I assume, I don't know how many you can have on your watch at the same time, but you can level these up. And I assume you can only have one at a time, but think about all the different build variants you can throw together with that kind of a thing on a watch. Because right now we know with our watch, you can, get to shade level 1000, you get all those extra bonuses, whatever. But being able to pinpoint certain things just for certain builds, I like that idea. I really do. Oh, look at all of you. Thank you. Typing all that in. Appreciate you. Mike, what's up, kid? I see you. I do not, unfortunately, have any codes to give away at this point. I apologize. I'm a terrible human being. I was begging the game earlier. I sent them a message saying, can I please have more? And I was completely shut down. Not because of the game. I mean, they've been phenomenal. Because a lot of people want extra codes. And I think what they're doing is they need to wait until the actual beta begins tomorrow. As I mentioned before in the video description, you are going to see a link that will take you to the page where you should be able to sign up. Hopefully you'll be picked. Again, just because you sign up does not mean you're going to be picked. Now, one thing I want to talk about really quick. We've been getting a lot of questions about monetization, and I want to talk about that as we look in this. You can see, just like in a regular season, you're going to have the regular reward track, which is up top. It says we have 45 days. So I'm assuming we have 45 days of this, which is sick. 45 days of this, what's it called? Either this season or of the open beta. Excuse me, not the open beta, the regional beta. So as you continue, you're going to get certain rewards as you level up. I'm at level 4, so I've gotten those first 4 things, and as I continue, so on and so forth. Then the bottom, you see, if you were to purchase an extra reward track, the items you're going to get as well. Now, a lot of people are asking, is it going to be like, does that mean you're going to get a stronger weapon, a better thing? Is it cosmetic? Is it whatever it is? No idea how it's going to work as yet. Once I have a definitive answer, like right now, if we look right here, you see in the regular reward track, when you get to level 40, you're going to get the Warlord, right? If we scroll back, which I believe I do in a moment, you will see if you bought that pass, you would actually get it at level 5 instead of level 40. So I guess this means you'd get an additional one, whatever it is. So again, there does seem to be that vibe of, seasonal reward tracks, things like that. Obviously, that is monetized just like it is in the regular game. But we will delve into that in not only future videos, but once we have an idea of exactly what you're getting when you're spending that money. And this is something I've said, I have no problem with microtransactions. Like right here, you can see if I was at level 5 and I had the pass, I would get the Warlord at this point. But obviously I don't, and you don't have the ability to do that during this beta. But to the best of my knowledge, you're being able to play and enjoy and complete certain things in this game is not going to be hindered if you choose not to buy something. So right here we go. If I wanted to buy the Elite Pass, which to be honest with you, just to get that outfit, I would do. I'm telling you right now, I would buy it just for that outfit because that outfit is badass. No problem with microtransactions if it's, just you're buying stuff for your character. When it's pay to win, that's the stuff I don't like. And it doesn't really affect PvE players such as myself, but I know for PvP, that could have a huge impact on whether you decide to jump into that game mode or not. So again, as we get more and more information, I promise to bring it to you. And as I learn more and more information, I mean, if we go, what is this last? The Baron's Pride? I mean, look at that. How sick is that? So anyway, we'll delve into all that stuff. And again, thank you all so much for putting in buy a new iPad. Appreciate it. That is my alibi, agents. We're going to go to Best Buy later today. All right, let me get back to chat really quick. See what I missed. New iPad, new iPad, new iPad. Okay. Are the rarity... Alex is saying you have questions the rarity for the weapons and gear. Yeah, you're going to have the same thing. You got green, you got blue, you got purple, and you have high-end exotics as well. So all of that is going to be in this game. There's some insane new weapons too. And again, we're going to be doing a deep dive in future videos. And there'll be more live streams as well. Trying to scroll down. Rogue Gold, buy him a new iPad. Rogue, you heard him. If you're still here. Ooh, did I just shoot someone? Okay, so really quick. Is this the first place where I find a safe? It is. So check this out. Okay, I didn't shoot someone. I thought I shot someone randomly. I couldn't remember. All right, so check this out. So we're opening up different you're going to see different containers and crates and stuff like this. This is badass. And in retrospect, I figured out, I think, what the code is going to be because I was looking around the place. Safe on the floor. I go to open it up. And I'm going to press the button real quick. And it says, such good times call for buy one, get one promotion, the coffee shop owner. So I'm thinking, oh, obviously that's a clue to a code. What's it going to be? And you'll see I'm like, was it like buy one, like 1010? And then I was looking around the coffee shop and then I got distracted. I went to a different one. I think what I should have typed in was 8060, like BOGO, like buy one, get one. So when I jump back into the game later, I'm going to type in 8060, BOGO, right? It's like, whatever. We're not going to get into that, but I think that would have worked. And you'll see in a moment when we go to another place, they give you all these different clues to open stuff up, and it's just fun. Like, you want to explore the actual world, and that to me is what, makes a game super enjoyable. We'll see that in a second. Pardon my emoji. Love it. Okay, Casey, what is going on? Okay, so let me get this straight. You're telling me I could play my favorite game on my phone. That's what you guys have all been talking about? Yes. Now, to be clear, this is a standalone game. This is not the Division 1 or the Division 2. This is the Division Resurgence. Okay, really quick. I'm jumping back to this footage. All right, so check it out. We're clicking on this one, and it says the code is the launch date of my favorite liqueur, the supermarket owner. So now I'm thinking, okay, the clue's going to be in this building. We know that, right? But little things like this. So I'm searching around. I'm looking at different cans. I'm trying to figure it out. You'll see my realization in a moment. I'm like, okay, let's go over here. Okay, convey it. I know they're a shipping company in the game. That's not it. Let's go over here. Check it out. What do we got? Oh, maybe it's on this. Hey, look, we got a bottle of beer. Let's check that out. Let's climb up here. I don't know if I can climb up there or not. I don't remember. All right, take a look. It's kind of fuzzy. I don't know. Maybe if I use my scoped weapon, I can figure it out. Nothing. Then as I'm cruising around, what I do is I turn back towards where the safe is. You'll see here in a second. Yeah, so I try the scope, but like little games like this is what I'm talking about. And then I wound up spending like 30 minutes going through stores trying to find stuff. And I think, oh, I'm turning around. And then when I go back to where the safe is, you can see there's a wine bottle right there. Exquisite red wine since 1987. Type that code in, opens it up, and you get a bunch of good stuff. So little details like this in a game makes it insane. So Casey, getting back to my answering your question, which I interrupted myself doing it. Look at all this. We get credits, Phoenix credits, a bunch of different stuff. Now, I do not know if these reset. I will let you know in a future video. But there's going to be a ton of farming stuff. Like, it's just fun. So to answer your question, Casey, yes. It's your favorite game on a mobile device. And it's a brand new game. It's something completely different. Like, the best way someone's put it so far is like Division 1.5. It takes place between the events of the first game and the second game. It's completely standalone. When we look at the map, there is a ton to explore. As I play more and more, I will be, delving into different builds, different farming. It's very immersive. And that, to me, is what makes a good game a great game, Let's get to it really quick. Rogue Gold, he was asking what device is he using. I think he said, iPhone 15 Pro, because he's a badass. That's who he is. Let's see, $20 is enough from me. Yeah, you know, it all depends. For me, I will be that person. I will spend $20 for a badass outfit. No problem with that. But again, we'll delve into all that some other time. Yes, you can use your controller with everything. Standard Xbox controller. That's what I'm using, as was Rogue. There we go. Nice. Of course, Rogue answered you on Eric. He's gonna answer you everywhere. He's a legend.
A little to the left.
Brother No says, let's be honest, mobile game equals microtransactions all the time. That is without a doubt. Some type of pay-to-win cookie cutter. If it's just cosmetics, then that's fine. Totally agree with that. And look, even if you want to pay for a badass weapon, I don't care. But I care if there's a player versus player element. That's what sucks. If you play on your own and whatever. But so there, I don't know that gray area as yet, so we will figure it out together as it launches. This guy Kevin was kind of bugging me at the beginning of the game, but I like him now. He was someone who's concerned about his girlfriend, fiance. I don't know. That's his aunt or aunt, depending on where you live.
It's been a dark winter.
Casey, okay, I've been gaming since games first came out. Man, this is awesome. 44 years old, just got excited about games again. I'm telling you, it's really a lot of fun. Like I was saying this at the beginning of the live stream, and do me a favor if you are just tuning in, feel free to hit that like button, sub button. You can hit that join button as well. We have had one new member so far today. If you're interested in joining, that does help the channel out. But I'm playing on my iPad. I'll plug it into the monitor through a connection thing I have if I want to do that. I can then jump on my phone and use the touchpad as controls, but typically I'm going to play this game on my iPad with a controller. And what I was saying was, last time this test went on, I think it was about a year ago, I was in the middle of it, took the kid to a doctor's appointment, and I was like, oh my gosh, while I'm waiting, I can play The Division on my phone while I'm waiting for the kid. I'm not going to be sitting playing this thing at a park. But if I'm like, perfect example, the other day I was picking up my wife from the airport. Her flight was delayed an hour and a half. Do you realize what I would have done to be able to play The Division on my phone while I waited? I'd be thinking, you know what? You can have that flight delayed 2 hours. We're golden. I'm saving the world here. So I do like that a lot. All right, let's get back to questions. Okay, Eric, you're good. Got to run. Hey, Rogue Gold, appreciate you, buddy. Thank you so much. You were awesome. Awesome, awesome, awesome. All right, let's get back to it. Where are we at right now? I think we're good in chat. So what we're going to do really quick is I think I'm going to start winding down, and maybe we'll go for another half hour. Let me check my phone really quick. The dogs are at the groomer. Got to make sure they haven't reached out like, come get your dogs. Okay, we are golden. Hey, who's that? William BR. What's up, kid? Got to talk to Kevin again. I don't know. He was just bugging me. He was just super whiny. You know? And again, just like in the first game, you've got different whiners. How funny is that? I actually didn't read that until right now. Kevin's sick of the whiners. I don't know. That's kind of the little, I don't know. He's kind of whiny. But again, he's a concerned person. I can't put myself in his shoes. I'm not going to judge Kevin. You know, but something about him is just bugging me.
Not everyone is as strong as you, and not everyone can accept the way things are now. It's their fear talking. They're terrified. I think they're ungrateful. I don't think so. I think they're very grateful. They just don't know how to show it. If we can make things even better here, it'll lessen their fear. We just need to encourage everyone to keep busy and help out.
All right, let's get back to it. So again, you know, in this room, and I've already said it, but you're going to keep hearing me when I notice things. Like, you see how nothing is really that sharp. The graphics quality. That's because of my settings. Okay, so we got another one. This is a good one. It says, look around for clues. So I'm like, oh, that's kind of, I just got to look around. I'm slowly taking my time through stuff, trying to figure out stuff in a moment. You'll see here in a second. I'm like, okay, good look at the board. No, got it. Boom. I mean, just right there on the chalkboard. It's as clear as day. So some will be easier than others. And I'm really, I'm also, like I said earlier, wondering what the reset is going to be like. Bandit, you were asking, will it play on Android as well as, yeah. So here's the thing. So with there are like 1,500, I think, devices this is compatible with. And what you're seeing, the gameplay footage you're seeing is on a device that is between 5 and 6 years old. And that is going to have a huge impact. Like if I played this on my phone, which is, I think I have an iPhone 13, it's going to look much, much better. And you don't need to have they recommend, and all I can use is an iPhone as an example because that's what I have. They recommend iPhone 10 or better. Now, I do not know what the equivalent of that is for an Android device, but I know the iPhone 10 came out. I mean, if we're on 15, the iPhone 10 came out a bit ago. So if they're recommending the bottom of the barrel is a phone that is probably, again, between 5 and 6 years old, you should be good to go. And again, we have side missions, main missions, all that stuff. I think what I do at the end of this, I think I kind of add a little more footage on so I can keep chatting for a bit. Keep firing those questions away, my fellow agents. We will probably be chatting for another 20 to 30 minutes, probably 20, something like that. We'll see what happens. See what we got. Android, we talked about that. Bandit, if they want to capo, yeah. So that's the thing. So when we're talking about microtransactions, again, and this is a sentiment I think you'll hear in the entire community, it depends on what you're paying for. Reward tracks, totally cool. Just like in the game, I mean, in the Division 2. I always buy the reward track. I always do. It's not given to me. I buy it. Nothing is given to me for free. Every season I spend 20, or is it $10? I think it's $10. Every season I buy $10 because for me that $10 is worth the rewards that I get. None of that is going to affect the quality of my gameplay itself. You know what I mean? I may get a piece of extra gear, this and that, but it's nothing that cannot be picked up by playing the game normally. Cosmetic things, totally different. When you buy a seasonal, reward track, you are going to get certain cosmetics you cannot get anywhere else besides that reward track, and that's what you're paying for, which is fine. It's a pay-to-win aspect. I should not be able to, and look, again, the perfect and worst example I can give is like Diablo Immortal, where that is insane pay-to-win. You have people spending tens of thousands of dollars to have a maxed out character that can decimate an entire lobby of PvP in 2 seconds. That sucks. I don't play PvP, but I want to be able to and not have to spend, 10 paychecks on it. You know what I'm saying? So we'll see what happens with the game, and I'll always let you know exactly what's going on. But you do have the option, obviously, playing as a solo player, staying in PvE, all that stuff. But yeah, I mean, it's a free-to-play game. Mobile games are free-to-play, and they are full of microtransactions. But again, and I can base this, I am going to base this on not spending any money whatsoever, right? This entire test, and I don't have the option to do that anyway, even if I wanted to. But I intend to spend nothing initially and let you know exactly what the game is like when it first comes out and let you know how it could hinder your gameplay. Because that, to me, will be a big deciding factor for people. Can you make it through the whole game and continue to play without having the need to spend money? Could spending money speed up a process of something? Okay, fine. But do you have to? Where is the paywall at? You know what I mean? So yeah, we'll see what happens, fellow agents. Once again, if you're just joining in, feel free to hit that like or sub, all that good stuff, join button as well. Any other questions, please let me know in chat. We're going to start winding this thing down soon. I don't know, how long we've been at it? A few hours now? I don't know. It will go for a little while longer. We'll see. Someone had asked a question about how this will affect... So, someone asked earlier, you're going to see a lot of different game modes in this mobile game. And a lot of people are wondering, well, why aren't they bringing that to the second game, whatever it is? Always remember, this is a completely and total different entity. Even though it is Ubisoft, completely different aspect of the Division franchise. So one has nothing to do with the other. They do tie together, obviously, story-wise and whatnot. But one game succeeding is not having an impact on another game's progression, if that makes sense. It's not like, oh, everyone's working on this and not putting attention on the Division 2. That's not the case. Totally different teams. Everything. Yeah, Fugazi, $20 being the high end. Yeah. So again, I mean, we'll see what it's like. I'm sure you'll have the ability. Let's say if you want to craft something, you want to level something up, and this is where that whole pay to win area gets a little gray. If you can spend money to craft something faster, okay, this is where I reset it. So you're not losing your mind. I did reset some of the footage because in case this went over 2 hours, which it's going to, which it already has. Jeez, it's been, just over 2 hours. So I wouldn't have to keep looping the footage. But anyway, any questions you see by the way of stuff on screen, this is stuff we've gone over before, but feel free to fire away. If you're talking about pay to win or any microtransaction, I'm sure there will be the ability, right now, for instance, I want to buy a weapon. Now it's free because it's at the very beginning of the game. Everyone will have this opportunity. But if I wanted to buy more credits to buy something, I'm sure I'll have the ability to do that. If I run out of resources and I want to craft or upgrade a weapon, I'm sure I will be able to buy something to do that. Or I'm making that assumption, right? That's the gray area. If you're paying to save time, is that pay to win? If you can still accomplish it, but it'll take longer, like where's the line drawn? And the only time I have a problem with it is if it's player versus player. That's my main thing. But again, we'll see what happens, agents. Yeah, Casey, going back to what you were saying about, having this ability now, and especially this being a mobile game, it's pretty amazing to be able to do that. I was saying earlier, like I may just keep a controller in my car at all times, so I can just link it to my iPhone and play on that. Like it's a lot of fun to play. And again, for those of you like myself who love this franchise, which clearly anyone watching this does, this is one of those things that we have a new Division game. It's not what any of us expected. And I think, as you've heard me say multiple times in this live stream, the stigma of mobile games and what you get in return are usually much different. So for me, jumping into a mobile game that's supposed to be a Division game and it actually being a Division game, that to me is the best part. That to me is what I want to actually see when I'm playing. I want the controllers to translate. Now, all of the footage you're seeing, again, older iPad, 5 whatever years old, using my Xbox controller wirelessly, using some Bluetooth headphones, and it was totally smooth. Didn't crash once. Could it be because I had lower settings? Maybe. No idea. We'll find out a little bit later when I play on the phone. But the point is, all the controller, it translated really, really well. B was vault, A was cover. RT and the left and right triggers functioned exactly the way it does in the first and second game. My skills, the exact same thing. Throwing a grenade, the exact same thing. Grenades were a little bit different because you have to hold the directional pad, keep it held down to, if you just press the directional pad, it's going to launch. So you got to hold it down or whatever. Instant medkits. Love that feature. That's another thing that I missed. With the second game that we had in the first game that we don't have in the second is that instant medkit. But everything else, it translates really, really well, which makes it a lot of fun. I'm starting to lose my voice here. So do me a favor in chat. If you have any other questions, please let me know. We're going to go for another 15 minutes or so. So let me know if there are any other questions you have about the game. As I said earlier, we are going to, I did leave a link to sign up for the regional beta. Signing up does not guarantee that you're actually going to get picked. It's totally random. You can sign up, hopefully you get picked, and go from there. Once again, this is from earlier, but I'm going to pet the dog. My goal is to pet every single dog I encounter in this game. Fugazi, longevity wins over pay to play. If it's free and doesn't hinder progression, I'm all about it. I'm right there with you. I really am. And it's just the quality of the gameplay itself. I love having the ability to jump in between franchises. Not in between franchises, in between games. And when we're at that point where we have this, we have the Division 2, We're on the road to the Division 3, and we have Division Heartland out. No matter what you want to play, you can have access to it, and that's the best part. Which takes me to something. Tony, what's going on, kid? You taking off? Good to see you, my friend.
Yeah?
Thank you for stopping by.
What's up, Doc?
Someone was asking earlier about the Division Resurgence, not the Division Resurgence, excuse me. Someone was asking about Division Heartland, and if we know anything about it. Now, the last piece of information we were given was that we would hear something about the game next year, at the beginning of next year. I can't remember what Carrie, who's the community manager, I think, over at the game, said in a video, but I think she said the beginning of next year or next year, whatever it is. So let's say it's going to be the first quarter. We hear something from them. I think one problem we have is that Heartland got a lot of people amped up, and I think that they announced it earlier than, not that they should have, but I think a lot of people, everyone's just waiting to play that game. That's what it boils down to. So I hope we get some news on that. But I'm under the belief this is going to launch before that does. But we'll see what happens. You get that people who pay are going to have a better gear and weapons. I'll join their clan. Exactly, right? But yeah, the only time I have an issue with pay to win is if you're paying money to beat other players. That's the stuff that sucks. So to be very clear, that's where I don't like. That's what I don't like. Diablo Immortal, case in point. It is one of the most beautiful mobile games I have ever seen. Ever. I am a huge Diablo fan. I mean, Diablo 4 is starting to make a turnaround, and I'm starting to get back into that again. But the pay-to-win element, especially in a game that has a player versus player aspect, that's where it's like, that's a little cringy. You know what I mean? So, we'll see what happens. If you're just tuning in, once again, welcome to the live stream. I'm going to be going for another 10 minutes or so. As soon as I get any more codes, if I do get any more codes, I will definitely let you know. For those of you wondering, or just, like I said, tuning in, you can see in the bottom left, playing on my iPad Pro Series 2. About 5 years old. Said that 1,000 times, but I will say it again, in case you're just catching the last part. FPS is at 30. You do have the ability to change that. I did not because my device is as old as it is. And the quality is set to medium, and that is one of the main reasons why it's looking kind of, not as sharp as you're going to see other stuff. Friend of the channel, content creator Rogue Gold was here a little bit earlier. He had put up some footage at 60 FPS, and it looks absolutely amazing. But even with this footage, and this is pretty much, or excuse me, this quality that you're seeing on screen, this is at the bottom of the barrel. This is on a device that's over 5 years old. And again, if I thought it was crap, I would say something. But I've seen it perform much better on newer devices. I'll be trying it on my phone later, which is newer. I have an iPhone 13. But don't judge the game's visual quality based on what you're seeing here at this channel. Definitely check out other stuff. Really, really important, because that is going to have an impact of what you're actually seeing. Let me get to chat really quick. Ryan, what's going on, kid? The game mode looks like the first Division, brings back so many great memories. That's the thing. I've been saying that like nonstop in this video for a reason, is that it really gives you that Division 1 vibe. For me, as someone who loves this franchise, yeah? There's no other, if we go back to when that first game launched, and this is before I had a channel, anything like that, I can remember playing the open beta and just counting the days until the game actually launched. And I knew nothing about looter shooters. I knew nothing about it. Up until that point, I loved Mass Effect. I loved Diablo. I loved different elements of those games. And what took place was, I was like, oh my gosh, this is like the looter shooter. This is like the loot aspect of Diablo, but the shooting aspect of Mass Effect. But I'm in an open world and I can do whatever I want when I want to. I'd never encountered anything really like that before, that I was really into, where I really got into the entire aspect of endgame, content. And this for me, Ryan, is that feeling of playing the Division for the first time, the first game. That's what I'm feeling with this. And y'all have been at this channel for a while. Maybe some of you are new, but for those of you that have been here, you know I'm always straightforward with you. Always. Never give you any BS. I let you know exactly what I'm good at, what I'm bad at. I'll always give you a fair and balanced assessment. For me, as someone who had zero expectation about this game going into it, totally blown away. And I can say that in confidence. And maybe some will like it, maybe won't, and some won't. But for those of you that do trust my advice and stuff, when it comes out, you want to give it a shot. And again, if you want to hopefully get picked to be a part of the beta, I think they are still taking on submissions. You know, if you want to, in the what's it called? Video description of this, you're going to see a link. It's going to take you to a page. Scroll down, you hit another link. I believe that's where you can sign up. Hopefully that's still open. But I'm telling you, it's a ton of fun. It is a ton of fun to play. The moment I'm done with this live stream, I'm going to make a sandwich, and then I'm going to play more. No, I got to make a video. I already said that for the Division 2. We're making a God-rolled mod video for tomorrow. A lot of questions about mods, so we're going to make a video on that for tomorrow morning. But anyway, the point is this. Going to record that video, and then I'm going to play this game until the family gets home. That's a plan. Luckily, I work from home, so I can do that here and there. I'm actually multitasking with work as I'm doing this live stream. So I'm responding to emails and whatnot. All right, let's get back to chat. Devin is asking, is Heartland going to be on console? Yes, it is. It is going to be a console, PC, and I think that's it. Console and PC. So yes, it is going to be on console. That will also be free to play. Heartland is also a free to play game. How that is going to work, we'll all see together. But yes, it will be on console. It'll be on, yeah, it won't be on mobile, but it'll be on console and PC. Team player Nick, what's up, kid? Good to see you. Welcome to the live stream. Happy you're here. Do me a favor once again, fellow agents, if you're just joining, feel free to hit that like button, sub button, join button as well if you'd like to help support the channel. We have one new member in the stream. Can we get to 2? Could we get to 3? We will see what happens, fellow agents. Once again, currently it's 2:25 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. I'm in balmy Northern California. Winds coming out of the southeast, 12 miles an hour. Currently 71 degrees. That might not be right. I'm making it up, but again, I'm not going to bother looking. All right, what do we got going on here? Any other questions? Let me know, my friends. We're just chilling. That's it. Again, this is recorded gameplay, which is a whole new thing to figure out. You know, I did want to live stream this, but I couldn't get it to properly work with OBS. People are doing it on Twitch, but I'm not about Twitch. I'm just doing stuff on YouTube. You can see really quick on screen, for those of you that missed this earlier in the live stream, same ability as you do in the first and second game. You want to break stuff down, you can actually just go into your inventory, select everything. You don't have to go through each individual item. You have the ability to break down stuff, on the fly. You can mark stuff as a favorite. I believe you can. Hang on, let me make sure of that before I say it. Well, we'll see in a second. Craig, what's going on, buddy? Good to see you. Devin is asking, this is a great question, Devin. I'm glad you asked this. Do I think we will get cross-play in the future? I sincerely hope we do. The reason I say that is because, so it's not going to happen for the second, it will not happen for the Division 2. That is without a doubt, it's not going to happen. I mean, I shouldn't say without a doubt, but the chances are that is not going to happen with the second game. But when we talk about the third game, I would love to see that. Now, typically when you're dealing with crossplay, you have the ability to turn off, for instance, if I'm playing Diablo, I can just play with people on console if I wanted. I could just do Xbox only. There are a lot of games out there where you can just choose the platform that you want to matchmake with, or you can matchmake with anyone. A lot of people worried about playing with other people on PC because of cheating. It's much easier there, whatever it is. So you do have the ability to pick and choose who you are going to cross-play with in regard to what platform or type of platform, you're playing I would love to see that, and I would also love to see the ability to, cross save, to be able to actually save a character's progression and use that same character between multiple platforms. Because for me, look, that you still have to buy the game, right? If I play an Xbox, like for instance, perfect example, The Division 2, I play on Xbox. That is where my highest that's where I put in thousands of hours into that character. I want to play on PlayStation as well, but if I have to decide when I'm going to play, I'm going to put all my time into the character that is already, at a certain point. Having the ability with cross save and being able to jump from platform to platform with that same character, I still have to physically buy the game for PC and PlayStation. But that just means I can transfer my character over. So I would love to see that. That's something we see, for instance, like, well, Starfield's different only because it's, Xbox exclusive. But we see that with a lot of games. Where if I buy Diablo 4 on, console, which I have, and then I go to log in on my account on PC, my character's going to be there. And I like that. I believe it is. But I think that works with Diablo 4. But anyway, the point is, I would love to see both those things added, without a doubt. Sean is asking, oh, hang on, Digital Dogs, what's up, kid? This is like Division 1 and Division 2 in one game. Yeah, from what he says, from what you've seen, they've done a good job. Totally agree. Someone was calling it Division 1.5, and that's exactly what it feels like. Story-wise, you're in that realm between the first two games. You're rolling in as a it's pretty badass. It's really badass. Sean was asking, when is it due for release? As of right now, if you go to the Apple Store, this game is due at this point, as of this moment, my being live, March 31st of next year. So we will be in this regional test for probably a month, maybe longer. I do not know the specifics as yet. Once I do, I'll let you know. Once that ends, they polish some more stuff, and then ideally, March 31st as of right now, and it could be earlier, hopefully it's not later. That's when this thing's going live. It is free to play, which is badass. Obviously, that means microtransactions. We've talked about that a lot. We'll get into that, further on as well. And again, if you're looking at the graphics, this is not as good as it can get. This is my settings right now. So yeah, that's what we know about the release date. Digital Dogs, yeah, it would be great for cross-save. What's up, AV Assassin? What's going on, my friend? Good to see ya. Welcome to the live stream. Once again, if you're just tuning in, do me a favor, like, sub, all that stuff. Join if you want to help support the channel. That does help. But there's no pressure to do so, fellow agents. So right now, again, we're just in, this is still, I think, in the prologue. We haven't even gotten to the open world yet. This is still like the very, very beginning of the game. My character's at level 3. My goal is later to be able to get to a much higher level. Gotta record some Division 2 videos first, obviously. On the hunt for God Rolled mods. We're going to be talking about that in tomorrow morning's video, so make sure you turn on those notifications if you have questions about that, which a lot of people do. And that's the other thing, too. When this actually comes out, there are so many people out there who have never even touched the first Division game. They have no idea it exists, or the second. I mean, one of my really good friends lives down the road. Long story short, huge Destiny fan. And everything went south and with Destiny, and he's like, I just wish there was another game. And I was like, well, have you ever played The Division? He's like, what's The Division? I was like, you gotta be kidding me. And to give you a quick example, so for me, as a huge fan of this franchise, which obviously I clearly am, I discovered that the game Warframe about a year ago. And I'm thinking, how the hell did I miss this game? This has every element of what I like in gaming. It has third person, it has leadership, everything. And I missed it because I was too busy playing The Division. A lot of people, when they get wrapped up in a game or a certain franchise, that's their hyper-focus, A lot of people never discovered this game because they were playing something else. And what's taking place is, we have not had a media push for this franchise in a very, very long time, and that's what we're starting to see. One thing we can all agree on is that the communication between the game and the player base hasn't been really good at all until recently. And we're seeing that, no pun intended, resurgence with the Division franchise and its player base and people out there. And this game is going to bring a ton of people to the regular game. And that's something a lot of people don't think about. You know? Assassin is asking, how's the flow of this mobile game? Pretty badass, I gotta tell you. Again, do not judge the quality of the graphics and whatever because of my settings. That's what I have my iPad set to because it's an older iPad. Kind of look at this if you want as like the bottom of the barrel of what you're going to get. But it's really, really smooth. I am playing on my, so it's an iPad Pro 2, about 5.5 years old. I know I keep repeating this stuff, but it is important to mention for people who are just tuning in. And I'm using my Xbox controller wirelessly, so I'm using Bluetooth for my controller and headphones when I'm playing this thing. It was smooth. I didn't have one crash. Played for 2 hours straight, not one hiccup, nothing whatsoever. A few little lagging things when it came to cutscenes, but that's because of the quality settings. That's not because of my connection or anything. That's a really big deal, in my opinion. And you've heard me say previously as well, look at some other channels, they have much better quality of the game itself when you're actually trying to see what the graphics are going to look like, you know? The flow is sick. I mean, I've got nothing but Division 1 vibes. All I want to do is farm. I want to go through missions. There are tons of side missions, different little quests, things to discover, cracking safes, figuring out clues, a bunch of stuff, which I would love to see in the second game. Instant med kits, which I love, which is from the first game, and loot, baby. Tons of loot. Okay, here we go. What is flow? We talked about that. Digital Dogs, and it's forwarding the game. Thus, yes, exactly. So what it's doing, Digital, is it's bringing us, it's pushing the entire franchise forward. And that, to me, is the most important thing. You know, you will see me cover other games at this channel. You've also heard me say, oh, I'm going to cover this game. Guess what? Blah, blah, blah. And then like a week later, I'm like, oh, this sucks. It's not the Division. I can only cover things here that I really enjoy playing. And I can see myself truly enjoying this. Give me 1 second. I got to grab this phone call real quick.
Let's check inside. Goddamn scum.
All right, I'm back. I'm working and... Okay, real quick. I'm actually going to be quiet during this because if you look at this right here, this is Jessica Candle from the first game. So it's going to give you an idea of where we fall in the story arc.
Whatever. I'm sure you tried.
Doc O'Neill, is he?
Gone. With the others.
He told them to take him instead of me. Is your name Gabrielle, by any chance?
Yes. Yes, it is. Why?
Someone wants to talk to you.
Hello? Kevin!
You know where they went?
No clue. Just caught a name. Jax. Seemed to be the top rabid dog.
All right. Let's go look outside. See what we can see. Sorry about this.
Yeah. Me too.
All right, we're back at it. Let's get to chat really quick. I already answered I am on my controller. Oh, really quick, you can see some of the feedback. The chat, you can turn off chat. I didn't know how to do it because I just jumped in and was playing. You can see people at the top. This guy, Johnny. What are you saying, lads, about the test so far? See, Private Ryan says, I love it. I want to quit my job. That's really been the overwhelming consensus of people. They're just absolutely loving this game. And the reason for that, again, in my opinion, please let me know what you think in chat, is you hear mobile, you're like, you hear mobile Division, you're like, no, just no, I don't want to. So your expectation is extremely low, and then when you play it and you're like, dude, this is a Division game on a mobile device, that's what we're starting to encounter here. We know they're going to be microtransactions, there's no getting around that, But as far as the game goes, and actually it's great because Diamond Dogs, thinking Ted Lasso, Digital Dogs was saying it. Yeah, you know, if this is bad graphics, I can deal with this. If this is as bad as it gets when you play this game, I'm okay with that. Because this is pretty damn good. I think the best thing about it when I was playing is the quality of the game did not hinder my enjoyment of the game. I was focused on the NPC, I was focused on the story, I was focused on just being completely immersed in the world. And by the way, what you're seeing at this point in this footage is just the prologue to the open world. We haven't even hit the open world as yet. This is, you know, you're still on your very linear path as the game starts off. So you are going to be able to hit up the open world like you do in a regular game. Now at this point, I have no idea how often things reset, whether it's a, pretty sure if you wanted to farm the same mission over and over again, you could do that. But you'll see in later footage, I crack a few safes. Do those reset? Are they in a weekly timer? Are they in a seasonal timer? Or on the daily timer? I don't know as yet. But I'm going to find out. So you're going to see a lot of videos on this game. You're going to see a lot of videos obviously continued on The Division 2 as well. All right, let's get back to chat really quick. Danny's asking, any news on The Division 3? Nope, nothing. Nothing whatsoever, nor do I think we'll hear anything for a while. One question I get a lot is, you know, this mobile game has nothing to do with The Division 3. The only way they are linked is through different story aspects, but the world of The Division 2, The Division Resurgence, which you're seeing here, and The Division Heartland, there are certain story aspects that are all tied together, but they are completely and totally standalone games, as will the Division 3 be as well. But when they made that announcement, I just about lost my mind. I've always said at the channel, you can go back years, I've always said there's going to be a third game. I never had any doubt about that. And they announced it in such a, oh yeah, by the way, oh, and not only that, the one person you want running the ship, Julian Garrity, is going to be running the ship. Oh, and Yannick's going to be there too. And our community is coming back. Oh, and we have Polly, and just all these things. We have Daria, amazing manager. All of these great people want to be a part of this franchise. And for those of you that may not know, Julian Garrity, you know, was the captain of the ship for the first division and the second one. And, you know, he left to do Star Wars Outlaws, which releases next year. And he pretty much has keys to the castle. And he wants to come back to this franchise. And again, these are all like these little details are actually major details. So that to me is just that indication on there's going to be a huge push for this game, which it deserves. And I think as fans of the franchise, that's one thing that we really had a tough time with over the last few years, was not only the content drought, but why we weren't getting that attention. Because the attention was on Avatar. The attention was on Star Wars. There was a skeleton crew, keeping this game alive for the longest time. And while we did have issues with communication and things like that, these are people who are truly passionate about the game. They want the game to succeed as much as we do. That's not in question. It's a resource question. It's a timing question. It's 1,000 other things. So all of this stuff in this universe kind of combining together is a really great thing for us. And the mobile game is a big part of that. I'm telling you, people who are doubting, and again, you may not enjoy the game. That has nothing, you may like it or dislike it. But I can say in confidence, at least in my opinion, that people are going to be pleasantly surprised when they actually play this game. And by the way, Agent Kelly is a total badass. You're gonna see so in a minute. She does not mess around. Like, she's straight up, she's kind of crazy. Really quick, you have that option when you're playing a mission. Do you want to go solo? You want to matchmake? Same kind of thing, just like in the other games as well. So this is good for solo or people who want to roll in a group. Clans are going to have a big part in this as well, as far as rewards, things like that. Again, we'll talk about that in a different video. Let me get back to chat really quick. Actually, I think I'm already caught up in chat. So news on Division 3. Long answer. Nope, nothing. That was the long answer you just heard. No news. I don't think we're going to hear anything for a while. A lot of people ask, when do I think the game's going to come out? I cannot see it coming out before 2026. Like in my mind, I picture a March 2026 release. And March because it's like the Division month. You know what I mean? That's when the first game came out and the month of March. I think I'm starting to get tired. The month of March. Same thing with the second. So I could see it, but when I mean it's in its infancy stages, they announced that it's happening. I think that's as far as it's gone, and they're building a team right now. And I think what we're going to see is that team work on the second game into the third. So that's why I'm so amped up about everything in the future. It just looks really, really good. All right, where are we at with chat? I'm going to start to finish this up pretty soon. I think in the next like 15 minutes, we're going to wrap this thing up. Going for about 2.5 hours now. I normally don't live stream that long. That's kind of crazy for me. Okay, here we go. Team player Nick. It's very hard to dislike the Division games, even on mobile, which I appreciate. It's very hard not to like the Division. Yeah, it is. It's tough not to like the Division games. And as I said before, you're getting a Division game on a mobile device. This is not like a Telltale version of the Division, you know? This is an actual looter shooter on a mobile device. And I think that's why people are so anti-Division Mobile, is because they haven't actually played the game as yet. Take the quality of the game, graphics, whatever, out of the equation. People's biggest concern is that this is going to suck because it's a mobile game. You actually play it, you're like, holy, you know what? This is the Division on mobile, which I don't know. I did not know how they were going to bottle that genie. You know, but they did. They figured it out. And it's very rare when, you know, I was fortunate enough to play the first beta about a year ago. And I see major quality of life improvements between that one and this one. How the game functions, how the game works, how the controllers respond. You know, certain settings that were non-existent in the first test that are here now. A lot of different things. How they set up, you know, that at the very beginning of this live stream, I was showing footage of like this little tutorial that they put you through. That wasn't there in the first version of the beta. Excuse me, of the game. Oh wait, really quick, you got to see this. This is Agent Kelly for you.
Where are the hostages? I ain't telling you shit. My knee! God, it hurts!
I'll ask again. Where are the hostages?
Jack got him up by the statue. He's crazy. He's loading the supplies up to a ferry and rigging the whole place to bomb.
Mercy kill. We're out of time.
What the hell? We're SHD. This is not how we do things. That man was unarmed.
You think he'd hesitate to pick up another gun and shoot us in the back? Safer this way. Let's move. We're losing time.
What'd I tell you? Agent Kelly is no joke. No joke. She is not messing around. So, IMCL. What is going on, my friends? So you don't get it? The only reason to make a mobile game is so you can go all crazy in the monetization like Diablo Immortal did. Totally agree with what you're saying. And that is a typical mindset. When people think of mobile, that's what they think about. You know what I mean? It's like, oh, just so you can charge me for this and that, whatever. And my main issue with Diablo Immortal, which is a perfect example, and it's a terrible example as far as what a mobile game can be. It's a beautiful game. Absolutely amazing. I loved it. But it is pay to win. And by pay to win, the problem that I have is this. When we're talking about monetization, if I can spend $100 and that means I can go into PvP and just light you up, I don't agree with that. I think that is a terrible, terrible structure for something. You want to pay 20 bucks to buy a t-shirt, you want a weapon skin, you want something like that, that's fine. In a non-PvP environment, if you want to buy a certain shotgun or whatever, okay, whatever. Because your gameplay is not affecting the gameplay of others. That's when I have a problem with pay to win. You know, if I can roll into a mission, one-shot everything, and you don't get any experience because you didn't fire a shot, where's the benefit in that? How does that work? You know what I mean? So that's where I completely agree where monetization is an issue. If we're talking cosmetic, fine. If we're talking about speeding up the process of getting something, I'm even okay with that. You know, if it's a certain weapon that I can't get to level 40, I mean, let's talk about this. Let's talk about the regular seasonal reward track in the game, in the Division 2. And then you have the, what's it called? The additional one that you can buy for $9 a season, which I do. You get some components, you get some caches. That does help with crafting and this and that. But the only thing that's really, really beneficial, if you want it, is just different cosmetics. If you want that other mask, if you want that outfit, if you want whatever. That's, and when it's that, I don't have a real quote-unquote problem with it. My main issue is when it has to do with player versus player, and how having more disposable income than you means I can have a better character, get a better weapon. That's where I have an issue. You know what I'm saying? But I totally agree with you. You know, but the good thing is what I intend to do when this game comes out is initially do an entire playthrough without spending a single dollar whatsoever and letting you know what you can actually accomplish with that. Because everything I encountered from the first test, there was no hindrance. Now, I don't know if that's because of the beta. I don't know. And you know I'm never going to steer you wrong at this channel. I will always be open and honest with you and give you all the information. Regardless of how much I love a franchise, I'm never going to BS you here, ever. So I promise to let you know, my friend. Carlos, what is going on, buddy? The downgrade in graphics and animations is brutal, very true, but I can understand why it is that way. The Division 2 is very consuming. Yeah, and it seems pretty good. So again, when we're talking about the graphics, I could up my settings. I haven't. I have an older device on my iPad. Excuse me, my iPad is an older device, and you know what I mean. So I didn't have an option of increasing the quality or increasing the FPS. And in this beta, I think you have to choose. I'm hoping that when the game goes live, you can actually just increase both. Like you can max both out at the same time. But I intend to play on my iPhone later. And when I do that, I have a newer iPhone. So that way, hopefully, I'll be able to up those settings. But Rogue, friend of the channel, Rogue Gold was here. I know KVD was here earlier. They have much smoother footage than I do. I know Rogue posted something 60 FPS. It looked amazing. Didn't look like this. So again, don't let this footage you're seeing right here, don't think this is the bar. This is kind of like the bottom of the barrel, you know? So let's get back to it. Devin is asking, do I think mobile play can help PC and console players with skills? Okay, so Devin, this is not the Division or the Division 2. This is the Division Resurgence. They are not linked to those other games in any way whatsoever. This is completely and totally standalone. So this is not going to be on PC or console. This is strictly a mobile game, what you're looking at right now. Now, there are ways to, I think, play it on your PC through certain software. I forgot the name of it. Blue something, blue whatever, I don't know. There's something on there. And, you know, for the record, I am playing it on my iPad, but I am also docked to my computer monitor, so it's great. So when I'm playing this, I'm just looking at my computer monitor while I play, which is really nice. Yeah, no joke, Carlos, I'm telling you. Agent Kelly, she gets the job done. She is shoot first, ask questions later. DA did not mess around, Constantine. Good to see you. Oh yeah, team player Nick. That's another thing. Your character actually, it's not the silent protagonist. Protagonist? Did I say that right? Protagonist. You know, you get a word stuck in your head. Clearly, that's happening right now. I'm pretty sure I said that word right. Anyway, yeah, no, you got a voice. You can hear your own agent's voice. It's pretty badass. Yeah, and Carlos, it's understandable why people think that way. And you know what? Honestly, IMCL is totally right. Because people are like, man, I don't want to touch a mobile game. You're going to make me pay to actually play it. And what it really seems to me is, you know, if this, again, it's tricky because it is the beta, but between the first beta and this one, it seems like you can do a ton of stuff without having to pay a single penny. You know, you'll see a little bit later in the video if I keep going, or if you want to rewind, you'll see some, because I'm going to start, I'm going to probably wind this down in the next 10 minutes or so. And I think I've said that for the past hour, but I'm losing my voice, and I got to record a Division 2 video for tomorrow. But, you know, people just want the ability to play the game without having to spend money. Now, there is and I don't know if this will be here when the game comes out. I'm assuming it's going to be. But there's a badass outfit that I want to buy, and I will spend $10 for it. I have no problem with that. Like, I will never have a problem with your spending money on cosmetics. That's totally cool. You choose to do that. It's your money. We're all grown-ass adults. Do what you want to do. But as far as gameplay progression, we'll see what happens when it comes out. And that's really going to be the best time to make that decision. But as I said a moment ago, my goal is to play without spending any money whatsoever when it comes to the actual gameplay itself. And then we'll see what it's like, you know. Because I don't want to have to spend $60 to get to a certain mission. You know what I mean? So we'll see what happens. If you have any other questions, first of all, if you're just joining, do me a favor, hit that like button, hit that sub button. You can hit that join button as well. We are at 86 likes. Can we get to 100 within the next 10 minutes? That would be pretty badass. Actually, we'll say 15 minutes. We're going to run this thing for a total of 3 hours, which is like twice as long as I normally live stream. Which is pretty bananas. Just pretty nuts.
Stop that dumbass hiding.
Assassin. AV Assassin. Appreciate you. Thank you for swinging by. Yeah, so Digital Dogs, you know, you make the comment, phones, you know, have gaming in mind because it is the future of gaming in some respects, but honestly, it's a cash cow. It's a complete and total cash cow, which it is. It will never replace console gaming or PC gaming. You know, for me, like right now, like if I'd be torn. You know what I'm saying? Like you have to manage your time differently. So for me right now, all I want to do is play the Division Resurgence because it's a new Division game and it just so happens to be on a mobile device. That's awesome. That's great. I'm going to play it. But if I had a choice between mobile or console, I'm always choosing console. It's not a question of if. That's just going to happen no matter what. Having the ability to take a franchise you love with you, that's what's great. And the fact that they're not making this in replace of, you know what I mean? It's just like, let's say, for instance, they decide the Division 3 is going to be, which it's not going to be. Let's make it very clear.
You and your kind.
Well, I mean, I couldn't imagine it being. But all of a sudden they say, hey, guess what? The Division 3 is going to be first person only. People would people would just lose their mind. Absolutely, 1000%. It's like, no, that's not what I signed up for. Give me the option to go. And by the way, in this game, you can go from third person to first person. Like you know, you aim down sights, you go right to first. A lot of people love that. You can set that up anytime you want. But the point is, you know, it's replacing something with something completely foreign. So it's like taking the Vision off of console and it's only on mobile. That would suck. They're not going to do that. You know what I mean? So I do. There have been tons of great mobile games out there.
Morning, Agent.
But for me, I've never had the desire to play one until this. You know what I mean? So we're actually going to let two things play out. You're going to hear. Yeah, I want you to hear this real quick.
You try and sit up for me.
And then we're going to jump to another cutscene in a second. And then wind this thing down. So keep those questions coming, and I will answer them after the scene.
You missed Santa. Not that there was much to miss. And the following weeks, too.
I've been out for a month.
And change. Yeah, you're damn lucky Dr. O'Neill was there when they fished you out of the water. It'll be a while before you're fully recovered. But better you get back on the horse than lie around here. Besides, we need the bed. They put what they could salvage of your gear in storage. Might want to pick that up first. And then Fei Lao wants to see you over in Ops. It's not over, you know. Not by a long shot. You'll have your hands full.
All right, we are back. Let's get to chat really quick. Texas Mike, appreciate you. Thank you for swinging by. Thank you, thank you. Right. You know what, Digital Dogs, you said, you know, waiting for a train. It's going to be more fun to be able to jump on a game and play it for a little bit. You know, I'm waiting for the kid at the doctor's appointment. Hey, I'll play The Division for a while. My wife's flight was delayed. I said this earlier. Picked my wife up at the airport. It was delayed by 2 hours. I had no problem with that whatsoever if I'm playing The Division the whole time, which means I may need to start just keeping a controller in my car for my iPhone at all times. But anyway, that is a conversation for another day. All right. Reaper, what is going on? Reaper 2004. Would love to be playing this for the lore and the story that expands on the Division universe. I'm never really bothered by what platform it will be on, just as long as the story is expanded. That's kind of what you're getting here. It's like that bridge between everything. We're rolling in right after. I think we're the first wave of agents. We're rolling in. There's just a lot. There's a lot to discover, a lot to unpack. You're seeing, like, Jessica Candle was from the first game. You're seeing her. In a moment, you're about to see Fei Lao, and she goes into, and I'm going to be quiet for that part, really gives you an idea of where this game is when you begin it. You know, and then we'll do that cutscene. Then I'll answer a few more questions and wrap this thing up. But yeah, for people who just love the story aspect, you can play this just for that. Casually jump in, play, check out some lore, do some exploring, things like that. That is the best part about this game. And as long as you can encounter all of those things without having to pay $1, that's what I'm about. And I'm pretty confident that will be the case. But again, I don't speculate here. You know how I roll. Once it is fully launched, that's when we'll get into stuff. And once they give us more and more information on how monetization is going to work exactly. Thank you, Craig. Good to see you. Go home, my friend. Alvaro, I hope you get to try this out on Friday as well. I really do. And if I had any more codes, I'd be passing them out. Cutie Pistols. OMG. I'm totally fanboying out right now. Huge fan of hers. If you have not subscribed to her channel, just stop the... I said this about Rogue Gold earlier. Stop watching. Stop watching my live stream. Go to her channel. Subscribe. She does raid carries. She does incursion carries. Just complete and total rock star. Really good person. Really, really good person. I hope to actually get to play with you one day soon. So again, Cutie Pistols, check out her channel. I cannot stress that enough. Awesome, awesome individual. That's the best thing about this game, this entire franchise. We have an amazing community. Thank you for being here, Cutie. Appreciate you. Team player Nick, graphics, yeah, don't really bother you because you know what it's like to play on PlayStation. Yeah, I mean, that's what I'm saying. So, I mean, you know, again, you're going to see a downgrade in some senses. But I think people are going to be pleasantly surprised when they actually play this thing. I'm going to be quiet. I want you to hear this part by Fei Lao, and then I'm going to get back to the rest of your questions and wrap this up.
Look who's up and about. How are you feeling, Agent?
A little sore.
Yeah. Candle told me they plucked enough shrapnel out of you to fill a bucket. I'm Agent Fei Lao, Acting Division Commander in Midtown.
What's the situation?
Better than it was, but far from good. First wave agents like you are now a rare breed. Most are either MIA, KIA, or Rogue.
Chief Meyer?
KIA.
Commander Chang?
KIA. I was there.
Damn.
Not long after you were injured, many first wave agents were lost in the Dark Zone. POTUS activated a second wave in early January. We've been fighting to regain control of Manhattan ever since. Our biggest headache was a PMC called the Last Man Battalion. Their leader, Charles Bliss, had a pretty messed up idea what the future should look like. But we eliminated that threat. When the guards abandoned Rikers Island, the prisoners escaped. They were wreaking havoc on the city. When we took out their leader, LeRae Barrett, they scattered. Not many of them are left in Midtown. The JTF is planning an assault on one of their last strongholds in Clinton. We also had the cleaners to contend with, and their boss, Joe Farrow, the one obsessed with cleaning the city of the virus. Happy to torch anything and anyone standing in their way. We dealt with them too, for the most part. And then there's the asshole who caused all of this. The variola chimera, better known as the green poison virus, was engineered and released by a deranged professor named Gordon Amherst. He had some sick notion about using natural selection to save humanity. His virus would weed out the weak. Amherst is no longer a threat. He was killed by his own creation. We recovered his research, and Dr. Candle says we're close to developing a vaccine.
You said agents have gone rogue. You mean they betrayed us?
It's not something we like to advertise. The alpha among them is Aaron Keener. He's still at large. In summary, the situation isn't good, but it's not as bad as it was. There are bands of Rikers still around, but it's been a while since we saw any cleaners and whatever remains of the LMB. On a happier note, I'm sure you'll be glad to know that the civvies you got out of Chinatown are alive and well. They're building a settlement here. I'm sure they'd appreciate any assistance you can give them. You might even run into an old friend or two. Things are better, but the streets aren't exactly safe. Before you head out, make sure your kit is fully stocked. Good luck out there, Agent. Dr. Kendall said you might experience some lingering effects of the coma, but she expects you to heal quickly. That's good, because we need you. The city needs you. As for me, I'll be here, trying to keep this operation from running off the rails. If you need anything, you know where to find me.
I mean, how does that not take you back? You know what I'm saying? It's just badass. It's awesome. We're going to start to wind this down. I'm losing my voice, and I need to record a video for later. Where were we? Let's see. No, Cutie, you're the rock star. Let's agree to disagree on that one. Digital Dogs, wasn't expecting to see her with the eye patch. Interesting. Yeah, so this is really like a Division 1.5. So we are going to see as we progress. And to be clear, this is the very beginning of the game. I'm at level 4. You can't help but get amped up when you see that. You're like, oh man, it's I'm telling you, like, unfortunately, and rightfully so most of the time, there is a huge stigma behind mobile gaming, understandably. But when it comes to this, I'm just talking strictly a fan of the Division. It's a Division game that happens to be on a mobile device. We will go over monetization in the future, all of that stuff. But from where I'm sitting, I'm completely blown away, pleasantly surprised by this thing. I did experience the beta, you know, when it happened a year ago. I'm lucky enough to be a part of it now. I do not take that for granted. I have you to thank for the amazing support you've shown me at the channel, which has opened a few doors here and there. So you know how much I love and appreciate all of you. And we haven't even jumped into what the open world is like. And I feel the need to kind of maybe, for those of you just tuning in, and if not, you can rewind to earlier in the video. You'll see the exact same graphics up on the screen. We got the main missions, you got side missions, you're gonna have the ability to just explore the open world, just like we do in the other game. You're gonna see when I go to the map, you've got the regular, aspect of the map. You have the dark zone as well. If you want to do some farming and hit up certain control points, you want to hit up different convoys, different, just all these different things. How everything is going to reset, I have no ideas yet. If it's going to be on a daily basis, weekly basis, seasonal basis, when it comes to certain, I showed earlier, we're cracking safes in different abandoned stores. You get a ton of loot when you crack those. How often are those going to be reset? There are a lot of questions to answer, and we will as we go on. And this is not going to hinder my making content for the Division 2, so do not worry about that. But it's a really fun game. I cannot stress that enough. I do not live stream for this long. We're gonna shut this off in 4 minutes. It'll be a 3-hour live stream. I think the last live stream I did was on my birthday over a month and a half ago. Like an hour and a half, hour and 45, whatever. But I can't get this game out of my system. And I know it's brand new, and you shouldn't be able to get it out of your system when it's brand new, but I'm really, really enjoying it. So I really want to give credit where credit is due. And at this point, they really knocked out of the park, in my opinion. Reaper is saying it starts off before the events of the first game, then plays through the events of the Division 2, hence these specialization weapons. Absolutely. You can see right here when it comes to your strength, find better weapons and gear pieces, upgrade them, add mods to them, and fine-tune your agent's playstyle. Try other specializations. Once you get to character level 12, you will be able to change your specialization and try different skills and playstyles. Team up with other agents, you can do that, or you can play solo. It is completely and totally up to you. Playing with other agents is always fun. And as you can see, my voice is starting to somewhat simmer down a little bit. Should be a little louder now. I actually lowered my volume. I didn't mean to. Hopefully that hasn't been going on too long. And you've been able to hear me okay. Alright, so basically Division Resurgence is filling in after the events of Division. Well, yes and no. It's filling in after the events and during the events of the first one, into and through the second. So understand, with Resurgence, this is not like a one season. They're going to be seasons nonstop. You know, in a second, I think I jumped to, I'm going to keep going longer than I was going to. Just so I can show you one other part really quick for those of you who are just tuning in. By the way, if you're just joining, do me a favor, hit that like button. We are 7 away from 100 likes. We truly appreciate it. And you can hit that sub or join button as well. We do have one new member, Brian. Thank you for joining up. Feel free to hit that join button as well if you'd like to help support the channel a little further. Okay. We're going to talk about different, there's going to be a lot of videos on this, because there's a lot of stuff to talk about. So we got our main missions, we have side missions. Getting back to questions really quick. Yeah, I'm hyped. Digital Dogs, you're already hyped for this. Same here. And I'm playing it, I'm still hyped. I mean, that's the thing. Like, I'm truly looking forward. You know, one thing I'll never do at my channel is post a video just to post a video. I talk about certain things that I'm well versed at, and there are certain things that, my channel is built for new players, casual players, things like that. I've not been super excited to jump into a game in a long time, and that is what this is for me. Now, really quick on screen, I want to point out what you saw the map for a second. Just like in the regular game, you have the ability to jump to any main mission you want. Now, you can see right now it's locked under story. That's because I haven't completed whatever the story arc is at this point. Once you do, you unlock all the other difficulties as well. And again, there are more than 3 main missions. That's all I've gotten to at this point in the game as yet. You have different echoes, and when we click on different world activities, you've got hostage rescue, supply run, arms deal, disruption, outpost restoration. What else we got? You got stuff scattered all across the map. Now, again, I do not know how often that resets. I will let you know as soon as I do. But there's a ton of stuff. You've got I have to set up a clan. I got to get far enough to set up a clan. To get all the different safe houses, it just takes you back. Are they going to have different vendors? Will each vendor have different items? How often are those going to rotate? There's going to be a lot of stuff. It is more like a Division game than I think most people think. But yes, I'm very hyped for this as well. Cutie Pistols coming in with a $10 donation. Thank you so much. That is so kind of you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. That really does mean a lot. I appreciate you. You did not need to do that. Thank you so much. Can I imagine them making an expansion for Resurgence? Well, I think what we're going to see... We haven't even really talked about the different game modes that are in Resurgence that we do not have in the second game. And I think what's going to take place is a lot of people are going to be like, I want to see this in the second game or the third game. And so when I talk about the importance of this mobile game or how it can wrap everything together, there are going to be so many people that are introduced to this franchise because of this mobile game. End of story. There are people who have no idea that the Division exists. I said this earlier. One of my neighbors, one of my best friends, lives right down the road. He got tired of playing Destiny. He's like, I wish there was another third-person looter shooter, or just another looter shooter out there. I'm like, oh, you mean other than Destiny and the Division? And he goes, what's the Division? I was like, are you kidding? He can't put the game down. He started with the second game. He's like, should I play the first? I'm like, yeah, you should. Even just for the story arc. So even for those of you out there who do not have a lot of time to play, jumping on this here and there just for the story aspects, that is going to be beneficial, you know? Again, just my thoughts. Tell me what you think in chat. All right, we've got... Oh, I just heard the kid get home. How is it already? Oh, man, it's already 3:15. All right, officially, we are going to chat for 17 more minutes. Then I'm going to pull the plug. This will be the longest live stream I've done in a very long time. Oh, man. I don't know if I can deal. Okay, we can do it. We got to get to 100 likes, which we will. Okay. But anyway, going back to what I was saying really quick about the videos and whatnot. You know, we do have the new incursion, which is great. I will never post a video just to post a video. And, you know, I talk for people, or I represent a portion of the community. I'm not the best at anything in this game. I got you know what, I'll take that back. I've got farming covered pretty decently. I can always point you in the right direction of that. My builds are very basic builds for beginners, for new players, things like that. One of the reasons why I say, you know, do your research, things like that, is there are builds that are better than mine. But I want to help people out who play a certain way, you know, whatever it is. You know what I'm getting at, yeah? That's never going to change. And when it comes to a mobile game and different things like monetization and all these other things which we'll talk about, I'm always going to lead you in the right direction. And like really quick on screen what you're looking at, and then I will get back to chat, I promise. Just like in our current season, you have the regular reward track and you have an extra reward track that you can buy. Now right there, look at that outfit. Vintage elegance. I want that. I will pay $10 for that, or whatever it is. I mean, I'm not saying whatever. It's like $100. I'm not going to buy it. But the point is, no problem with, you know, different things when it has to do with vanity items, things like that. You got these weapons, the Warlord, and that's the premium pass to unlock. But can you get it in the regular, you know, reward track as well? If so, hey, I'm cool with that. You want to pay extra money to get a little earlier? Okay, fine. And then you get a second one a little later? Okay, that's great. Again, the line I really draw is if it's player versus player and you're giving a player an unfair advantage of another. But again, we'll delve into that once the game actually launches. But going back to what I was saying about videos and whatnot, I'm never going to just say something to say it. Like, I am a Ubisoft partner. That doesn't mean I have allegiance to Ubisoft and will be like, oh, everything's great. If I don't like something, I will always tell you. I will always tell you. And this is something I'm really enjoying. All right, let's get back to chat because my voice is starting to fade. Yes, Zoris, this is the mobile one. It's pretty badass. Solvent Mountain. Yeah, I tell you what, it's a really fun game so far. I mean, I just went on that rant. You kind of heard me. Positive rant, but you know what I'm saying. Reaper saying, when I mean expansion, just like how Division 2 is getting the Warlords of New York expansion, you can imagine Resurgence getting expansions. Yes, I can. You know, it's going to be... This is going to be... Okay, so to give you a quick example, I was lucky enough to go to a Ubisoft Forward event, and the Resurgence was there, and they had a little setup. And one thing I remember taking away is one of the developers said, and I quote, "We have years of content planned." Years of content. So, okay, look, really quick. Elite Pass, $20. Unlock and upgrade your pass to unlock exclusive rewards. Instantly boost your pass by 10 levels and enjoy additional perks with the Elite Pass. So if I wanted to buy that, I could do that. I could spend $10, whatever it is. You know, again, vanity and whatnot, no problem with it. But going back to what you were saying, Reaper, your comment, they've got years of stuff planned for this. Years. Not months, years. You cannot launch a mobile game without having that end game in mind. It is going to be based on microtransactions because it is a free-to-play game. What that is going to get you, we will get into when the game goes live. You know, and we'll cover it then. And again, I've said previously, I intend to play the game without spending a penny. See how far I can get in regard to story and all that stuff. And look, as long as you can play the game without any mission progression blockers, I'm good with that. You know, but again, we'll cover that then. Solvent Mountain, thank you so much. Welcome to the brigade, my friend. Appreciate you. Thank you for joining. That was awesome. Very, very cool. Digital Dogs is saying, I'm going to start to wrap this up, fellow agents. Absolutely, just for the lore, this interests me. Same thing, and you're going to find that from a lot of people. They want to jump in just to jump in. You know, oh, I got to show you the safe cracking thing. For those of you that have not seen it as yet, just hang tight for a second. I'm like, yeah, I'll finish. Oh, I'll be done in like 5 minutes. 4 hours later. Yeah, it does look great. Ryan's saying 1 more minute turns into 2 hours. I know. It's so bad. It's nonstop. Okay, so here's the first thing. So really quick. You know, you got a cache to open up right there. Excuse me, what's it called? Weapons box. Get some credits, some worn fabric. Now this is where, and by the way, I talked about this earlier. This is where I was like, well, what else does this game have? I'm going to turn. You're going to see there's a safe on the ground, right? So I'm like, oh, what is this? Just crack it. I don't know the code. What am I going to do? So I interact with it. It says on the screen, such good times call for buy one, get one promotion. The coffee shop owner is the one who said that. So I'm thinking, okay, I got to look around the coffee shop, or maybe I can just crack this on my own. So I'm thinking buy one, get one. So I'm thinking 1010, like you buy one, like you pay for one, then it's nothing, pay whatever. Then I think I try 0101. But I'm thinking now, and I said this earlier, it's going to be 8060. Now I'm going to test this earlier. And this is all retrospect. But I figure with 8060, that spells out BOGO. You know, buy one, get one. Could that be it? I don't know, agents. I'll let you know later. But there are these, and this led me down a different rabbit hole. You'll see at the end of this footage. I just go to like 4 different empty places and try to figure out the code. You'll see me figure out one in a minute. I was all proud of myself. Well, it wasn't that difficult, to be honest with you. But anyway, let's get to finishing up your questions. Then I'm going to wrap this up. When does the game release? King Assassin. As of right now, if you go to the Apple Store, we are looking at a March 31st release date. That could be earlier. Hopefully it's not later. But as of right now, if you go to the Apple Store and you type in The Division Resurgence, it says March 31st. And in the video description of this live stream, there's a link that will take you to a page which you can possibly still find. So really quick, I'll finish that sentence in a second. The code for this one, the code is the launch date of the store owner's favorite liqueur. So you see me searching around trying to figure it out. Well, you'll see how I finally figured it out in a second. What I was saying is in the video description of this live stream, there's a link that is going to take you to a page that has another link which will take you to where you can sign up and hopefully be chosen for this beta, the regional beta. I don't know if they're still accepting signups, and signing up does not guarantee you're going to be chosen. But if you want to give it a shot, I say go for it, because I really think as this continues, you know, I think this beta is going to go on for months. You know, and if that's the case, they could always invite more and more people, so it cannot hurt to sign up. So I recommend doing that. Anyway, so it said the store owner's, you know, favorite drink. I'm searching around. Then I realized right above the safe, it says, you know, ooh, check out this red wine, 1987. I'm like, son of a God, it was right there in front of me. But the point is, how great would this be in the regular game? And it's here in this mobile game. Type in the code, get a ton of loot. I don't know how often these reset, but I will check later today because I got to log in. Okay, there we go. Oh, what's up, kid? I see you, Steven. What's up, buddy? Division guy, what's going on? Yeah, Solvent. I'm not big on. I don't play mobile games. I play like Candy Crush, whatever. I just don't, because if I have time to play a game, I'm jumping on the Division in, you know, or a different game on console. But this is something where it's like, ooh, I have time to play. Like at the end of the day, my wife and I were hanging out, and, you know, she's on her phone doing whatever here and there. It's like, oh, I'm going to play my game for a little bit. This is great. You know, it's like perfect. When you got that just downtime where you're just vegging out for no reason, that's what I'm about. Thank you, Steven. Appreciate you, buddy. Cutie, you got the reference. 4 hours later. I'm glad to see there are sentiments in this. Division 1 needed sentiment. Yeah, settlements. Like I saw the word. Yeah, there are a bunch of settlements, I believe. So yeah, it's good stuff. It really is. So the beta, Roscoe, is going to go live tomorrow. That's when it goes live, and they are still issuing codes out. They go in waves. Being picked is completely and totally random. Yeah. Did it just lock up? Okay, no, it didn't. Being picked is completely and totally random. I've spoken about this before. I am in the Ubisoft partner program, but again, even being a part of that does not guarantee you're going to be picked. I know people who are in the program that were not picked. It's a random thing, you know. But again, I kind of established myself in a small bit in the franchise, so yeah, I'm very thankful to have been picked for this. Yeah, Cutie, this should keep us happy while the Division 3 comes out. It definitely will, and we also have Heartland. There is a lot of stuff to look forward to. So yeah, that's about it, my fellow agents. I am going to officially wind this thing down. I am exhausted. I plan to do a 1-hour live stream. It turned into 3. Thank you all for your amazing support of this channel. I'm still going to record my video for tomorrow, I promise. We're going to talk about farming God-rolled mods. If you have any questions about farming them, let me know here. And I will check out chat later. As I finish this thing off, I want to thank you all for your amazing, continued, incredible support of this channel. You know, I've been covering this game since Warlords came out. So after, I didn't start my channel until April of 2020. So next April will mark 4 years, and I could never have imagined what this community has. It's just been absolutely amazing, and I hope you know how sincerely appreciative I am of everything you've done, you continue to do. And the game's been at a really tough point for a long time up until recently. So I'm really excited about the future. I'm happy all of you are here. Jonathan, or is it probably not Jonathan? I said Jonathan. Jonathan? Anyway, hello from Brazil. Hello from California. And by the way, Brazil, I think, yeah, you're in that region too, so make sure you signed up. Hopefully you get picked. My fellow agents, that is going to do it for this live stream. I appreciate all of you so much. Thank you for being here. And hopefully there'll be more of these coming up soon. As I mention at the end of every single video or live stream I do, take care of yourselves, be kind to each other. We will talk to you soon. Thanks again, everyone.